Carson Park is the place to be tonight here in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, for a Big Rivers matchup. It's homecoming tonight here in Carson Park as the Old Abe's from Eau Claire Memorial are on their nice, beautiful, groomed artificial field, and they're taking on, of course, the Raiders from Hudson in a big game tonight here in the Big Rivers Conference. I'm Joe Dunford along with John Wecken. Glad you could join us for this one tonight, and just a fantastic night for football. It's getting a little crisp out there right now, but the wind does not appear to be a factor. There's no rain in the forecast, so we have all the makings of a fantastic game here tonight. No weather-related turnovers or anything like that should be an issue this evening, so may the best team win tonight. It should be fun.
Well, it is. This is a game that will define the season, in my opinion, for the Hudson Raiders. Raiders coming off a big win, knocking off previously undefeated and highly ranked the Rice Lake Warriors last week at home on homecoming, and now you find yourself the next week. You don't have a whole lot of time to celebrate that. Why? Because you're going on the road to face another undefeated team, another team ranked in the top 10 in Division I. And so potentially we could have a lot of things in terms of conference alignment and standings after tonight. You could have a tie between Eau Claire Memorial and Menominee, undefeated going in. If Rice Lake and Hudson win, you could potentially have a four-way tie with four teams sitting atop the conference at 4-1. So, a lot of different possibilities tonight, but the Hudson Raiders, they had a good week of practice coming in here very focused. This is going to be a big-time task to try to pull this off tonight because the Old Abe's are having one of their best seasons in years. Homecoming, big crowd, this is what it's all about.
Yeah, the Big River Conference, it's a little unbalanced because you have at the bottom of the conference teams that are 0-4 in Eau Claire, North, Superior, and River Falls. And then on the top of the conference, you have Menominee and Memorial at 4-0, and then Rice Lake and Hudson at 3-1, and then Chippewa kind of falls right in the middle there at 2-2. So it's almost all or nothing with this conference right now.
Well, it is, and the upper half is these Hudson Raiders, the Eau Claire Memorial Old Abe's, the Rice Lake Warriors, and the perennial power, the Menominee Mustangs. Hudson has lost to Menominee, but they beat Rice Lake. And so this is the third challenge in three very challenging games in 3 weeks in a row, and they're 1-1. This is, in my opinion, this is the biggest of the three. And for Eau Claire Memorial, they've cruised along. They're undefeated, highly ranked, but you play Hudson this week, Rice Lake, and Menominee, the three other big shot teams in the Big Rivers Conference tonight. So this is a defining game for the Old Abe's as well. But I think for Coach Cowles, for a motivating factor, going on the road against the undefeated team on their homecoming, you have all the motivating factors you need to come out smoking tonight.
Well, I had a chance to talk to Mike Sins. He's in his first year as head football coach for Memorial, and he thinks that this is certainly going to be their toughest task of the season so far up to this point. And I had a chance to talk to his offensive coordinator, Ben Gansky, and he says they just like to play at an up-tempo, spread offense type of deal, and not make many mistakes. And both coaches actually told me that turnovers could be a big difference here tonight. If they can hang on to the ball, they'll be okay. So Sins coming in here, his first year, he was in Mondovi for 8 years as their head coach, and before that he was their defensive coordinator for 3 years. He's originally from Menominee. He played football there, and he was kind of on their staff for like about a year or so in Menominee before getting the jobs in Mondovi. So he's excited. He said that they have about 94 kids out for football here, and he goes, we gotta get more numbers out. He goes, other teams in the conference have 140 kids on the squad, and he figured he didn't know what Hudson had, and maybe John, but they probably have well over 100 kids probably in their program from freshman year to senior year, I would think.
Well, yeah, these are big schools. These are two Division I schools, and the top division in the state. And, so they have big numbers. And these are the top two enrollment size schools in the Big Rivers Conference. They're within, 50, 75 students of each other. And so, yeah, this is the big time in the state here. And just taking a look at the Wisconsin sports rankings, Eau Claire Memorial coming in 6-0 and ranked number 7 in the state.
Yeah, well, they're undefeated. I mean, they started off the year, La Crosse, Logan, 35-6. These are all victories now. They're undefeated. And then it was La Crosse Central, 47-22. So they took care of the sweep in La Crosse. And then Superior, they had a close game with Superior, 24-20, right here at home to go to 3-0. Then they took on Chippewa Falls at Chippewa, a 24-14 win there. And then River Falls at home, 21-7, and then Eau Claire North at 43-6. 43-6 the score against Eau Claire North. So, yeah, here they have Hudson tonight on the road against Menominee, who's also undefeated, and then Rice Lake, who's 3-1. So, yeah, you're right. The toughest part of their schedule really starts tonight. And it's hard to believe we're already 6 games into the season already. It's hard. It's the temperature's starting to cool off with it a little bit, but we just had 90 degrees for 3 days in a row last week, so it hasn't cooled off that much until tonight. It's just a fantastic night for football, and nobody's going to complain about this, that's for sure. It looks like the choirs in the field, they're going to be set for the national anthem here in a few moments, and starting lineups coming up in just a little bit. Do we need to take a break, John, or are we just going to keep going?
No,
or
we're going to go straight through it, just taking a look at the matchups tonight. The other big game in the Big Rivers Conference, and we're to the point of the season where they're all big games. And Chippewa Falls is trying to get playoff eligible, but even more so than that, the big showdown in Rice Lake. The Rice Lake Warriors coming off that tough loss in Hudson last week. That was their only loss of the season, going up against an undefeated Menominee Mustangs team. That game is very relevant for Hudson because, as I said before, the best case scenario for Hudson at the end of the evening, they beat Eau Claire Memorial to give Eau Claire Memorial a loss. Rice Lake beats Menominee to give Menominee a loss. And then you're looking at 4 teams at 4-1, a 4-way tie for first with 2 weeks to go. It's just like a pennant race in baseball. Then it's anybody's ball game there, and any number of things can happen. So we'll be keeping a very close eye on that Rice Lake Menominee game, and of course that's on the MSBN Sports Network with our partnership with WJMC, and we'll be getting score updates from that.
Well, there are some fine players in this game here today, no doubt about that. It's a possible Division I type of situations for some, and Cormac Sampson is probably the best player for Eau Claire Memorial overall. He goes offensively and defensively. He plays defensive line. He's 6'5", 237, a senior. And then the running, he'll also maybe see some time at running back. He can carry the ball as well. Cormac Sampson, he's a Division I player. He's going to Wisconsin. Where else, right? And then for, of course, Hudson tonight, the fantastic defensive player for them, John, that you know very well. I was told he is going to possibly Northern Iowa. Is that possible for our linebacker for the Raiders here?
Well, a lot of these athletes are getting different looks from different colleges, and probably the one there, Cole Goodbow is
who I'm talking about, yeah.
And he's a potential Division I talent. He has the size, he has the speed, and we're going to go to the national anthem now, and hear the Eau Claire Memorial Choir.
All right, very good. All right, welcome back. The national anthem well done by the choir here at Memorial. And we're just about set to get this one going. Starting lineups, Eau Claire Memorial offensive starters. Quarterback is a good one, and it's Keegan Calchera. Calchera, 6'3", 195 senior. We're going to hear a lot of his name and a lot of Jack Brown, the running back. Jack Brown, 5'11", 185-pound, a senior. And he's got about a dozen touchdowns already this year. So we're going to hear a lot of Jack Brown, and then maybe some of Cormac Sampson, of course, at running back. Wide receivers, Kyle Wilson, 5'8", 172-pound senior. Calvin Tanner, 5'10", 174 sophomore. Trey Brewer, 5'11", 150, a senior. And Nathan Howe, 6'6", 209-pound junior. He's a nice target out there. On the offensive line, they have Dustin Smith, 6'2", 256. Left guard Tyler Nichols, 6'3", 246. Carl Hansen's at center. He's a senior. Carl is a junior. He's 6'2", 244. The right guard is Jack Kern, 6'3", 289, and he is a senior. And again, the quarterback, Keegan Calchera, 6'3", 195-pound senior. And then the defense for the Hudson. The defense for the Hudson Raiders. It'll be Alonzo Madsen, 5'7", 190, a junior. Cade McDonald, 6'6", 195, a sophomore. Cole Goodbow, he's their big leading tackler and best player defensively, 6'4", 250, a senior. Linebackers, Jonah Becken, 6'3", 205, junior. One of their other leading tacklers is Cody Sika. He's got 42 tackles on the year. He's 5'6", 185, a junior. Zeke Schwartz, 5'7", 185, a senior. And then Bon Carls, 6'2", 185, senior. There's two Carls out there, and we'll get to that in a moment. And then defensive backs, Jakes Asembo, 5'8", 145, a junior. Alec Colander, 5'11", 160, senior. Jacob Dalton, 6', 180, a junior. And then Brad Raffensberger, also at defensive back. So there you go. That's the defensive starters for the Raiders.
We also want to remind our viewers tonight, and I know there's a lot of viewers back home tuning in that couldn't make the trip over here to Eau Claire, and of course viewers from here, there, and everywhere following the Hudson Raiders as they've done all season long. You can contact us here in the booth at Carson Park. It's very easy to do. Click on the Contact the Booth link underneath the video screen on HudsonBroadcast.com. You can let us know who you are, where you're listening from, and who you're cheering for tonight. Glad to have you on board. I got a nice Friday night. Two good teams going at it for a piece of the conference championship. What more could you ask for?
That's right, and the Raiders will be kicking off from my right to left here from the 40. And we are underway. This game is ready to go, and it's going to be taken by the Old Abe's right at about the goal line up the right side and brought down nicely right at around the 14-yard line. Roberts got the return back. Not a bad return, took a wide route there. And we'll get to this. We'll get to the Raider offensive starters here in a moment, but with the Old Abe's on offense, just about set.
Well, I think it's the Old Abe's starting fairly deep in their own territory here, and if this Hudson defense can just pin them back and force them 3 and out here, they're going to get pretty good starting field position for their first offensive series. One of the goals tonight is win the battle of the line of scrimmage and win the field position battle. And Eau Claire Memorial starting with not real great field position.
Shotgun for the quarterback, Calchera. He's in trouble, and he'll go down right at about the 10-yard line. Good defense, and flag on the play already too, so that didn't take long. It's going to be on the offense. First flag of the game, first play of the game. Eau Claire Memorial is going to get backed up even further, somewhere around their 5-yard line or so. Now they're going to keep it right around the 10.
Brings up second and 15.
You got to wonder if
Second 15.
defensive coordinator Neil Hadfield's going to throw an all-out rush at him, got him deep, inside their 10.
One player almost jumping off sides defensively for the Raiders. Getting back, trying to set up the offense is Calchera. He's got double wides on each side. He's standing right at about the 4-yard line. There's a draw play, just a handoff up the middle to Jack Brown, and Brown with the carry. His first carry of the game right there, and it wasn't a bad run.
Brought down by Sika.
Sika on the tackle. He got it out to just past the 15-yard line, almost to the 16. Picked up about 6 on that play, so it's 3rd down and a long 9 yards to go. No huddle offense for the Old Abes. Again, shotgun. That's what we're going to see most of the night here tonight. Taking his time, looking at the sideline for some plays. Now he gets the play, looks at his wristband, and backs up again. Waiting for Hansen to snap the ball. There's the high snap over everything. And a whistle blew before the snap, though, and we're going to have a timeout taken by the Old Abes as Coach didn't like what he saw. Adam, he really didn't want to
Timeout Memorial.
have that play run, and it wasn't snapped very good anyway.
Well, this is not the start that the Eau Claire Memorial Old Abes would have won. Of course, coming in 6-0, ranked number 7 in the top 10 in Division I in the state. They've had some big wins, and this is the best start they've had in many, many years. They are playoff eligible already, but you're talking a potential battle for a conference championship and seeding in the playoffs that start here in 3 weeks. Yeah, we're 2/3 through the season. It's hard to believe, when you start early, start back on August 18th. Here we are, not even into October, and 2/3 of the season is gone. But that's how high school football is, and this is one of the top matchups, not only in the conference, really one of the top matchups in Division I in the state tonight.
Well, we're glad to have it for you here, right here on MSBN. Big 3rd down play. Raiders would like to stop him here and get that ball back in good position. Let's see what Calchera decides to do. He's looking left, now looks over the middle. He's getting rushed, gets away from the rushers. He's going to try to run with it, and he's brought down short of the 1st down, right at around the 15-yard line or so. Got back to the line of scrimmage, basically. Maybe he lost a yard there or two. And so it's a punting situation right away for the Old Abes. And the Raiders are going to get good position here with this football somewhere, most likely on the side of the Old Abes field.
A very good start for this Hudson Raider defense. And this Raider defense, to me, played their best game of the season last week against a Rice Lake offense that had come in averaging over 40 points a game. The good, consistent rush. Pass coverage was excellent. They won the battle at the line of scrimmage, and that was a good start for this Raider defense.
There's a good high punt. It's going to be a fair catch signaled right at the 50. Maybe just on this side of the 50, and that's where the Raiders will take over.
49-yard line.
A nice job and a nice punt there, and it's 1st and 10 for the Raiders for their first chance offensively. And Kaiser Helterbrand will be the quarterback, 6'1", 210-pound junior. Him and Max Stubendick had kind of gone back and forth a little bit on quarterbacking, but Helterbrand is now kind of the mainstay at quarterback, and Max is going to be kind of a split end out there at times. Both of them, well, Kaiser's a junior and Max a senior. And let's see what they do here. 2 receivers to the right. There's the handoff to Squires, and Squires gets across the 50. Picks up about 3 on that play. First run of the game for Squires. Number 5, Aaron Squires, 6'2", 195-pound senior.
And Aaron Squires had a tremendous, really a breakout game against Rice Lake last week. I think he was close to 150 yards. They have to go back and look. But if they get a game out of him like that tonight, they're going to come out of here with the W.
There's a pitch out right side for Squires. He cuts it up across the 45 to about the 44-yard line, maybe the 43 it looks like he got to. Picked up about 5 on the play. Nice run, but they're still a couple yards shy. It's 3rd down and 2 yards to go. Also in the backfield, Riley Brown. Wide receivers will be Ben Carls and Charlie Pierce. The linemen, you got Paschke, Gilbert, Schultz, Castro, and Madigan. The usuals up there for Adam Cole's head coach. There's the handoff left side for Riley Brown. He makes a nice cut, 30, 25, 20. and he's knocked out of bounds somewhere around the 15-yard line, and a penalty flag flies as he goes out of bounds. If it was a face mask or something at the end of the play there. I thought I saw another flag fly earlier, but I don't think that was a flag.
Riley Brown continues to impress, and they've been featuring him on runs just like that. The blocking was there. He showed his speed, and they're going to tack on some extra yards for the face mask.
Yep.
And a tremendous run. Riley Brown just gets better every week. He's a great compliment to the bigger Aaron Squires. Excellent run by Riley Brown.
About a 30-yard pickup there for Riley Brown. Breaks the 1st and 10, 1st and goal to go. There's the handoff.
Wide
into the end zone. Touchdown. Nothing to it. Aaron Squires, he had one man to beat it about the half-yard line, and that guy didn't want any part of that freight train coming through, so he gets the touchdown, and right away it's a 6-0 lead here for the Hudson Raiders on homecoming here in Eau Claire.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Hudson Raiders just walked through the number 7 team, undefeated team in the state, like they weren't even there. What an outstanding opening drive by the Hudson Raiders tonight.
First touchdown of the game. There's the snap. The extra point try is up, and it's good.
Extra point attempt by
Carls is good, and that makes it 7-0 for the Raiders with 8:43 to go here in this one. The Hudson Raiders' first good drive. Went about 50 yards on that one. Helped by a couple penalties. But they're on the board in this first quarter with 8:43 to go. And, boy, you're right, John. Like a hot knife through butter. They had no problem. That was an easy touchdown. He wasn't touched till he got hit at about the half-yard line.
Well, and that was really set up by an excellent stand by number one, Eau Claire Memorial started fairly deep in their own territory. Then they had a penalty that even backed them up more. But the Hudson defense really was outstanding on that first defending that first Old Abe possession. Came out of there with good field position and bang, bang, bang. And the Hudson Raiders up 7-0. Outstanding start on the road for the probably slight underdog Hudson Raiders.
Well, that kind of quieted the crowd here, didn't it?
Yes,
the Old
it did.
Abe crowd not very excited about that at all. But they didn't have a very good offensive series to start the game. Had a penalty on their end, and boy, they need to do a better job here this time around. Maybe just getting the kinks worked out in that first time offensively will be a better performance here this time around. But Carls to kick off again. He's a good kicker. Gets it deep. Again, handled right about the same place we started the game at it around the 1-yard line. Roberts goes to the right again and gets to around close to the same spot he did before. So kind of an instant replay of the opening kickoff of the game as he got it to around the 14-yard line or so. And that's where the Old Abes will take over. The Old Abes, tell me about that name. I didn't know that until yesterday when I was getting ready for the game, and I think it's a great name. I thought it had something to do with Abe Lincoln, but it has nothing to do with Abe Lincoln.
Well, it's the era of Abe Lincoln. It dates back to the Civil War. Old Abe was an eagle that accompanied a battalion, a Wisconsin battalion, through many battles in the Civil War, survived the Civil War, and for many years the taxidermy version of Old Abe was in a museum down here, and then the museum caught on fire, if I recall. But that's where the Old Abe comes from, is a very prominent eagle that was part of Civil War history here in Eau Claire and the state.
Very nice. That's great. I've never seen, all the games we do.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen an Old Abe's anywhere else?
It's
It's not going to be that way.
No,
'cause
it's a very
special here.
It's a very unique nickname, and of course Memorial's had a solid program through the years. They've made the playoffs, I think, four times out of the last 5 years, and Hudson's really had their number overall.
Handoff Brown. He tries to go over right tackle. He's met beautifully. Nice defense by the Raiders. And coming up was Sika. Sika's always seems to be in the play from what I have heard, and he's a good one. So Brown had a nice run the last time, but third down and a yard here. He picked up maybe one that time. Brown, their leading rusher on the season. He has 679 yards coming in here.
The linebacker play for Hudson was just phenomenal against Rice Lake.
There's the I backfield. They hand it off to the first man through the fullback. Gets across the 32 to maybe the 33-yard line. Nice hole. And Tracy gets the carry. That was a fantastic run by the fullback. Tracy, and he gets about 4 on the play and a first down. So maybe the offense settling down a little bit here for the Old Abes, trailing already 7-0 to the Raiders. Again, I slot to the right. There's a pitch out right side. Brown across the 30 to about the 32 or 3 yard line. We'll give him to 32. And he picks up 4 on that one. He's the workhorse, Brown. Jack Brown, 5'11", 185-pound senior. Some great games in MSBN here tonight. Glad you could be with us for this big game here, and nice big conference game here for these guys tonight too.
Oh yeah, we're definitely getting down to it. This is a featured matchup, no question.
2nd down 6,
There it
handoff
is.
Brown. There's skiing on him that time. Nothing, and probably lost a yard or 2.
Stop short of the middle.
Boy, nice play getting in there.
Brought down by
Was
Carlos and Goodbow.
Goodbow is in there again. Goodbow's a solid player. Wow, he's 6'4", 250. We mentioned him in the pregame, deciding where he wants to go, and I was told on the field he's looking seriously at Northern Iowa.
He's definitely Division I caliber. He's got the size, he's got the speed, and he just continues to improve every game.
Again, big 3rd down and a long 6 here for the Old Abes. He's the quarterback. Kelchera's back, and he is dumped back there. He had no room at all, and Goodbow got in there in a hurry, and I think Sika was with him. 2 of the better guys, no doubt about it. And that's a sack right there. First sack of the game. And again, a good defensive stand by the Raiders, and they're going to get good field position, or should again here. Hudson back deep is Ben Carls, the punt returner. And number 14 back for Memorial is Adam Tracy, the punter. And he gets another good punt away. Fair catch signaled at about the 44-yard line by Carls, and that's where the Raiders again will take over. It's about 7 yards back from where they started their first drive, which ended in a touchdown, a 6-yard run by Squires. They come out again here. 5:13 to go in this first. 7-0 Raiders lead the Old Abes on a beautiful night for football.
Yeah, it really is. And what a great start for this Hudson Raider team. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better start. Two excellent starting field position, and they're going to go at it again.
Hilterbrand fakes the handoff, goes right up the middle, has good running room. He faked it to Riley Brown, and then he leaped over the 50-yard line. And, boy, a real nice run by Hilterbrand, gaining 9 on the play.
Well, that's a read option or a quarterback draw, and they've started to have some more success with it. Hilterbrand is a big kid, and he's fast. He not only has good field vision and a good pocket presence, but he's becoming more and more a running threat as well.
There's the handoff. Squires, he just kind of goes over right tackle and center, and he gets enough for the first down. He picks up about 3.5, 4 yards on that one.
Cormac Sampson on the tackle.
Sampson tackling. The defense for the Abes, they have Nichols, Triseth, Kern, and Sampson on the defensive line. Sampson, a big one going to Wisconsin. Again, there it is, the handoff to Riley Brown, and he tries to go around the left side that time, gets to the 45-yard line, not much there. Taken down by Andrew Roberts, a 5'9", 155-pound junior. The defensive backs, Roberts, Webb, Clark, Wilson. Linebackers, Hojun, Yun, and then Van Gransven and Adam Tracy. 2nd down and 9. Back to pass, throwing. He's got a man open on the right side. It's caught at the 29-yard line, spinning to the inside at the 20, still on his feet, and brought down right around the 16-yard line.
Roethlisberger's pass complete to Stubidic.
Stubidic makes the catch.
Brought down by Wilson. First down, Raiders.
Nice pass.
Yeah,
and it's a first down, Raiders, and a nice play for about 24 yards on that one.
Yeah, this Raider offense is really hitting on all cylinders here in this first quarter.
Squires with the handoff.
Squires gets the handoff and doesn't get a lot that time. Maybe a half a yard or so. But a nice reception by Stubendick. Here's the quarterback pitching out right side Squires. He's got a little room. He rounds it at the 10. He cuts to the 5. He's looking for the end zone. He's sneaking in there. Can he get in or not? Both the referees there, and he's in for the touchdown right at the pylon. He got to about the 5-yard line, had a couple of guys to try to drag with him, and he just put his head down, and he found the pylon out of the corner of his eye and put the ball right into it, it looked like, for the score, and it's 12-0. 13-0 already, I should say, for the Raiders, and they're looking for another extra point here.
You couldn't ask for a better start for this Raider offense. This Raider team is coming in here focused and prepared against this undefeated Memorial team, and boy, you just couldn't ask for a better start.
About a 14-yard touchdown run. Here's Carl's kick. It's up and good, and the penalty flag comes down for running into the kicker, and so that'll be applied probably on the kickoff. So another penalty, third penalty of the game on the Old Abes. Still have 1-0, no penalties on the Raiders, but a nice first quarter for Squires. Nice 14-yard pickup there and a touchdown, his second touchdown of the game.
Well, he had such a tremendous game against Rice Lake last week, and this Hudson offense is really starting to gel. The offensive line play has become very good. Riley Brown is becoming more and more of a threat on kind of pitch plays and jet sweeps and that type of thing. Aaron Squires continues to get better. They've settled in with Kaiser Helterbrand as the starting quarterback, and he's had some good targets. Max Stubendek they put him in a slot receiver, split end, Carls, among others. And those two drives there, the execution by this Hudson Raider offense, tremendous.
Well, they've done a fantastic job, and they've had good line play, keeping control of that line of scrimmage. Not too much pressure getting into the backfield of the Raider offense here at this time. Hey, Joe Moore usually does these games. He's not here tonight, so that's me. We got one Joe taking over for the other.
I just going to introduce you. This is Joe Dunford subbing in for Joe Moore, who has other obligations tonight. And, Joe, welcome aboard. We've worked together for years and glad to have you on a Hudson football game.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about these Hudson teams and games over the years from you, definitely. And so happy to be helping out. Here's a little nice run up the middle on the kickoff. In spite of the penalty, that's their best field possession of the game to start with, right at about the 28-yard line. So good run back by the Old Abes, and that's where they'll start. But yeah, it's been I know you've really enjoyed doing these Hudson games. You live right in Hudson and have followed this conference and the Hudson squad for many years, and it's just fun to be able to see some Wisconsin football. And I see in Wisconsin they decided to forego any huddles here offensively, it looks like. So they both teams going without huddles here tonight, certainly thus far. Here's a handoff. Brown gets to around the 30, just past the 30-yard line.
Yeah, this is an Old Abe team that right now is in shock. You know, they're undefeated. They've a big crowd at home and a lot of a real festive atmosphere. But the Hudson Raiders have come in here on a mission, and boy, what a tremendous start so far.
Game of 4 on that last play. Here's another handoff. Brown, he's picking his way through, gets to around the 35. Not enough for a first down. He picks up another 3 yards there. Brown's getting about 3 to 4 yards every time he touches it. But at some point, right now, on third down, the drives have stalled. So third and a long 2 yards here. And, boy, this is a big offensive play for the Abes. They need to get their offense going, already trailing 14-0 to the Raiders. Triple backfield again over center. The quarterback this time, handoff up the middle. Good line play, good center play that time, and getting across the 40. That's enough for a nice first down. Gain of 5 on the play. Raffensperger brought him down. And it's first down of the half here for the Old Abes with 2:02 and counting here in this first. They need to get a drive going and get some points on the board.
Well, we'll just take a quick peek at the Old Abe season thus far after this play.
There's a handoff inside, and that's going to be Tracy.
Tracy on the carry.
Tracy with the carry, his second carry, and he took it right up the gut, picks up 4 on that play. He's got 8 yards on a couple of carries here tonight.
the old days have not been blowing people out. They've been winning games, but they're not blowing people away. They beat La Crosse Logan 35-6 and La Crosse Central 47-22 in non-conference. But their wins over 24-20 over Superior, 24-14 over Chippewa Falls, 21-7 River Falls, and then they pounded Eau Claire North last week.
Kalchira hands off up the middle, gets it to Brown, and Brown makes a nice spin move, and he gets some yardage again, picks up about 4 on that play. It brings up 3rd and short, about a yard to go. Brown, their workhorse, really having a nice first half, 34 yards on 8 carries. It's 3rd and 1, right at midfield. Bringing the play in is Kyle Wilson. And Keegan Kalchira, they like this kid at quarterback. For the Old Abes, he sends off Wilson wide to the left side. There's the handoff and a first down run. I think that might have been Tracy. Yeah. Tracy's had some nice runs. And he picks up about 3 to 4 on that one.
I want to say hello to Lee Livermore, former Hudson Raider, tuning in, watching from Cameron, Wisconsin, cheering on the Raiders. Shoot us an email, very easy to do. Click on the Contact the Booth link on hudsonbroadcast.com, and you can let us know who you are, where you're listening from, and who you're cheering for tonight. Love to hear from you.
There's a nice move, handoff right side. Brown, he gets across the 40 and goes out of bounds right at around the 37-yard line or so. Picked up of 9 on that play, and slowly but surely the Old Abe offense is starting to come to life here a little bit, finding a little more room on that play.
Well, if you're the Old Abes, there's a lot of football here to go. Hudson had a very hot start, and the Old Abe offense on their first 2 offensive possessions really went nowhere. But this is an undefeated team. They've definitely done some things right this season here. Now they're driving into Hudson territory, got something going.
Let's see what they do here. Kalchira, handoff Brown, nothing fancy, and he's met. He is run right into. Godbow was right there waiting for him. Godbow's been more than once in that backfield of the offense for the Abes here tonight so far.
Well, he's very active, and defensive coordinator Neil Hatfield has been moving him around at different spots of the line here as we come to the conclusion of the first quarter. And I want to go into the MSBN email bag, and again want to get those emails coming in. We've just had hundreds and hundreds of wonderful emails this season from people watching all over. Want to say hello to my dad, Victor. He's tuning in.
Hey.
We're going to have him on next week.
Good.
He's going to come on. We try to do one game a season, and he's going to be at the home game versus Chippewa Falls next week. And he did some coaching years ago, and this is kind of an annual thing that we've been doing. So looking forward to having him on next week. Want to say hello to Keith Lutkins. He says, love that I can watch the Hudson Raiders wherever I am. He's in Tokyo tonight, tuning in, and he says, go Raiders. And
he gets the furthest listener and watcher so far here.
Yes, and I go back, and it's not uncommon at all for these regular season broadcasts for us to have 12, 13, 14 different states and maybe 3 or 4 countries, and then when we hit playoffs, that almost doubles there. So we've got a lot of people tuning in. We also want to welcome people watching live on TV back home, Channel 15, the River Channel. We're running all of these games live this year as well, in addition to being on the net at hudsonbroadcast.com.
3rd and a yard, pitch out left side, trying to turn the corner. Penalty flag comes flying in too, but Brown on the carry gets it to the 35, which should be enough for a first down. But it's another penalty on the Abes. It's their 4th penalty, and this one could be very costly because they probably had a first down on that run. And it'll back them up here now. It'll be 3rd down and long. They had a nice ceremony here at homecoming. They had a parade before the game, and the band was out, and fire trucks, and you name it.
Well, it's been tradition for years for the Eau Claire homecoming, UW Eau Claire homecoming here in beautiful Carson Park. It's very festive. A lot of people participating in it. And speaking of the Old Abes here, they really backed themselves up to a much more longer 3rd and 11. They're probably going to have to go through the air here.
10-yard penalty makes it 3rd and 11 now. Back to pass. Kalchira, his pass is incomplete. Boy, just about there. knocked around a bit. A little quick opener on the left side, and it's incomplete. So first pass attempt incomplete by the Old Abes, and brings up fourth down again. So the Raider defense, the offense has played well, but the defense is also right there.
Got some score updates coming in. The big showdown up at Pugland Field in Rice Lake and Menominee. That one's for first place. In addition to this one, scoreless after one. Chippewa Falls an early 7-0 lead over winless Eau Claire North.
Ben Carls is back there for the punt. Fair catch signal. Look out. Oh, he bobbled it. And he's going to hang on to it, and he's good right there. He had to move a long ways to his left to get to that ball and get under it. And a little bit dangerous there. He might have been better off just letting that sucker bounce on its own. It might have got a good bounce on it. So a little dangerous, but got away with it. And again, here comes that Hudson Raider offense, who's 2 for 2 offensively here. $14-0 the score, 11:40 to go in this first half. Raiders back to pass. Helterbrand looking deep. He's got a man open, and it's caught at the 40-yard line. A diving catch by Ben Carls. Fantastic catch. He was open, and if he didn't have to dive for it, he might still be running right into the end zone.
And Ben Carls, along with Max Stubendick, continue to get better and better at wide receiver. The multiple targets for Kaiser Helterbrand.
Carls with a beautiful play, and there's a run. Helterbrand on the keeper.
Well, this Hudson team, you can just tell the skill of this coaching staff because you had such a big win last week, and time and again you'll see coming off a big win, you're just not as sharp in the next game, which is equally as important against this undefeated Old Abe team. And they are sharp as a razor tonight.
There's a pitch left side. Squires, he has good room. Gets across the 50, the 45, maybe to the 44-yard line. First down for the Raiders. Gain of about 7 on that play.
Want to say hello to Pat Stream. Says, hey, guys, Pat Stream here with his son Tim Stream, watching the Raiders on his laptop by a fall fire back in Hudson. That sounds nice. Thanks for the great broadcast. Go Raiders. Keep the score up, bring the win home. So wherever you're watching tonight, welcome aboard.
Quarterback Helterbrand, he is going to pick up a yard or so on this play, as they were kind of waiting for him on that when he got across the 45 to the 44-yard line.
Want to also say hello to Karsten Bentley. Emailing in.
Nichols in on the tackle.
Just want to remind the viewers you can click on the contact the booth link and keep those emails coming in.
Back to pass. Helterbrand, he's looking right. He's got a man open, and it's going to be dropped at the 30-yard line. Oh, man. It was right there for Stubendick, but he couldn't haul it in. Well, incomplete.
Kaiser Helterbrand, he came in as a sophomore and really shared the snaps last year with Max Stubendick, and that was really the plan going into this year. But he has taken over the quarterback spot. He had a tremendous freshman year, and he is starting to really come into his own now.
Back to pass, looking over the middle. He's got his man open. It's caught, and a fumble. Nope, they're going to rule him down at the 30-yard line. But Squires makes the catch right over the middle.
Squires brought down by Webb.
But it's a first down catch and a nice pass. He was wide open. Nobody really around him, about 15 yards downfield. Gain of almost 20 on that play. So Squires can run with it, and he can catch it. There's Squires on the left side, and he gets to the 20, maybe the 19-yard line. So the offense is moving beautifully here tonight so far in Eau Claire for the Raiders. It'll be a gain of 9, second down and 1.
The momentum and the rhythm, and the Raiders employ this hurry-up kind of almost 2-minute offense time and again. It keeps the defense off their heels, and it's working as Hudson calls timeout. We got our first score update, or first score from that big showdown up in Pugland Field. Justin Evans, and Raider fans know all about him. He had over 300 yards against Hudson here a couple of weeks ago. A 2-yard touchdown run. Menominee up 8-0, 8:32 left in the second quarter, and the Hudson Raiders, if thinking about the possibility of a conference championship, really need Rice Lake to hold serve at home against the undefeated Menominee Mustangs tonight. And those two teams have had some tremendous games through the years. In fact, Rice Lake has beaten Menominee 2 out of the last 3 years, but that Mustang team is very strong under longtime coach Joe Labuda and really handed it to Hudson here. Hudson made a run at him, but it was just too much Justin Evans, particularly in the fourth quarter, and he's having a nice start up in Rice Lake tonight. We'll continue to keep an eye on that one.
Well, Aaron Squires having a nice night here. 2 touchdowns. Came into the game with 358 yards, and he's already got 48 right now. Shotgun for the quarterback. There's the handoff. Squires right up the middle. He got a good head of steam. Get it inside the 15 to about the 14-yard line, and another first down. Gain of 5 or 6 on that one.
Squires on the run, brought down by Sampson.
And really
Sampson
a nice
on the tackle.
A really nice mixture of plays by this Hudson offense as well, between pass and run.
Elterbrand, handoff again. Squires penalty flag goes down, and Squires fumble. The football is picked up by the Old Abe's, and one official was going to let it go, and then the side judge came in and said it was down. Oh, a bit of a break
Squires
there for the Raiders, possibly.
Flag in the play.
I couldn't tell if that ball was fumbled when he hit the turf, or it started to maybe come out just a hair before he got to the turf.
And there was a flag thrown prior to that, and it's going to be a hold on Hudson. And
yeah.
Penalty is holding.
That's a
against
tough
the
break.
Raiders.
It's Hudson inside the red zone, already sitting on a 2-touchdown lead, hoping to add on it here. But they're going to be backed up.
I think Squires came out of the game here. He's feeling some pain there going to the sideline. That'll be tough if he can't come back in or something's going on there. He's trying to walk something off on the sideline. So he comes out. Riley Brown is in there. Back to pass, rolling to the right side. Hildebrand, look out, he's in trouble, and he's dropped at about the 33-yard line. Boy, coming in nicely was Cormac Sampson, the man going to Wisconsin. The big man got him, 6'5", 237-pound senior. He snuffed that play out, no doubt about it.
Yeah, you definitely see the speed of a big guy. You got a lot of big guys out there, but it's the big guys with speed that have the greatest potential to go to the next level and excel. And he definitely has that. We saw it on that play.
Sigsworth is the player in there now in the backfield. Back to pass. The quarterback looks left. Penalty flag is dropped. It's dropped. The ball is also dropped at the 25-yard line. 2 drops. The flag. It'll be holding on the Raiders, who pick up 2 quick penalties here on this drive. They're going to decline that because right now it's 3rd and a county.
Well, you know, they were so sharp here and had driven inside the red zone, knocking on the door for a potential third touchdown here in this first half, and penalties have backed them up. 3rd and forever now.
Yeah, 28 yards. There's another big rush. Oh, he got away from the big man that time. Now he's in trouble. Get rid of it, young man. He throws it up to the end zone. It's going to be incomplete, almost picked off in the end zone, and also trying to get there was Stubendick. But incomplete brings up 4th down, and I don't know if their kicker is good from long distance like this. I would say that's a stretch.
Well, Ben Carls has a very good leg. You know, I've watched him warm up, and he's had some thunderous, booming kickoffs where he just kicks it through the back of the end zone. But, you know, this would be a long field goal attempt, and you're kind of in no man's land. I don't know if you punt here, but Coach Adam Cowles, through the years, through this season and through the seasons we've covered Hudson football, has the tendency to go for it on 4th, and that's exactly what he's doing here.
Would have been about a 49-yarder. So
that's a long kick in high school football.
Hey, throw it up to the end zone. See what happens, right? Hail Mary right here. Elterbrand going left, throws it up deep. He's got a man down there. He's got 2 men down there. Look out. It could be. Is it good? Touchdown.
He's got it. How did he?
Touchdown. Holy cow. Is it Riley Brown? No, who is it? Pierce with the catch.
That being Charlie
Pierce. He was down there.
He was triple covered. How did he pull that down? Wow.
Just a Hail Mary, a heck of a beautiful pass by Kaiser Elterbrand. And he puts it into the end zone, and there was 5 people looking for that football down there.
Sometimes, some nights, everything just goes your way. And so far for the Hudson Raiders, it's one of those nights.
Trying to make it 21-0. Here's the snap. Ball down. The kick looks good. And it is. But a penalty flag comes down again. Did we rough the kicker again?
Carl's extra point is good. Flag on the play.
Well, 21-0 the score. Yeah, it'll be roughing the kicker again. We'll do another
for the second
penalty.
Straight time.
Yeah.
And that's frustration. That's really frustration. You have to play within yourself. You want to be aggressive, but the Old Abes are in shock and they're frustrated. They are getting taken to task on their own home field on homecoming by this Hudson Raider team right now.
8:24 to go here in this half, second quarter. That was about a 35-yard touchdown pass.
Will be assessed on the kickoff.
Fantastic pass. Boy, putting it in a great spot was Helterbrand. He put a beautiful spiral on that thing, too. He put it up nice and high so people could kind of gauge where it might come down, and that worked perfectly.
Well, and in that situation, you're too far to kick, or you're too far to attempt a kick. You're not going to punt, so you go for it. It's 4th and a mile. Helterbrand has a tremendous arm, and not only that, when he goes out of the pocket, even throwing across his body, he has such tremendous arm strength and great vision and a great pocket presence. Knowing where his receivers are, he put it up there where it needed to be, right at the back of the end zone, and somehow, some way, it snuck through there. And we're sitting on a 21-0 lead.
Charlie Pierce gets the touchdown. Extra point, good again.
We got some emails you want to get to here. Keep those emails coming in. If you're a Hudson Raider fan on this lovely Friday night, you are all smiles.
There's the kick by Carls. This one's going to go into the end zone, and it'll be a touchback for the Old Abes.
Going into the MSBN email bay, Corey Chase and it says, watching the boys from home. Shout out to Harry Ryan. He's the water boy on the sidelines. They say hashtag Go Raiders.
Raiders will start.
Well, they are off to a fantastic start here, 21-0. It's been all Hudson.
I want to also say hi to Bennett, Schrank, Paul, Sparstad, and Dennis. I got a whole bunch of names here. Anyway, a bunch of guys rooting for the Raiders in tonight's big scrap. Let's go, boys. And yes, they have had a tremendous start in this first half.
Calchera in the shot again. Handoff Brown. Gets to around the 22-yard line. Done that a bunch of times here tonight. Gain of almost 3 yards on that one.
These two teams had a really good game last year in Hudson. Hudson ended up pulling it out 21-18 in a game that went right down to the closing minutes of the fourth quarter. 2 years ago, Hudson it's really the only time in the 7 years we've been doing this where they had a down team. And Eau Claire Memorial just took them to task here 2 years ago.
McKinley comes in with the play. He goes wide left. There's a handoff again, and getting to around the 25-yard line was Brown again, but not a lot that time, just a couple of yards. And he was brought down. I think Sika was in helping on that one, and McDonald were in there as well. Cade McDonald.
Another score update coming in for Big River's conference play. End of the first quarter, the Superior Spartans, who've had kind of a rocky road here, looking to get back on the win column, 15-0 over River Falls.
Wow.
Athletic Director Stephanie DeVos.
3rd down and 5. Big play for the Old Abes. Back to pass. Throwing over left side. It's complete to Brown. He makes the spin at the 30. Gets around the 32-yard line, and he has enough for a first down. That's a nice play right there, especially by Brown, who knew he had to get another 2 or 3 yards after he got that football.
Well, the Old Abes are trying to find somehow, some way to scrap back into this game. And whereas Hudson offensively has really gotten into this rhythm between running and passing and the hurry-up offense, the Old Abes, as of yet, haven't really gotten into any rhythm, any sustained drive at all, as this Hudson defense has just been tremendous.
Calchera, the senior quarterback, back to pass again, getting rushed, steps up, looks out, he's hit from behind and dropped. Boy, a big play there coming in. I think that was number 36, Jonah Becken. Becken with a nice play from the linebacker position, 6'3", 205-pound junior. He dropped him, and that's another sack, second sack of the game.
Well, Hudson's been getting penetration all night from the interior and from the ends. The linebacker play, as I mentioned before, which was so good last week against Rice Lake and shutting down that powerful Rice Lake rushing attack, continues to impress tonight.
Clock running at 6 minutes to go here. Big drive offensively for the Old Abe's. Here's a little shovel pass. It's caught at the 27-yard line, and boy, almost busting away was Brown. That pass was complete, but not for much. He picked up about 4 or so on the play, and it's 3rd and long again. It's been 3rd and long all first half here for the Old Abe's.
Gary and Betty Stubendick enjoying the broadcast tonight, rooting on the Hudson Raiders and their grandson, number 1, wide receiver Max Stubendick.
He is number 1, no doubt about that. Probably for the family as well. There's a pass right side. It's going to be over everybody. Incomplete, almost getting back there to make the catch. Alec Colander, if he had a little bit more jump on that pass, he might have been going the other way. But incomplete there. 3 for 5 passing now is Colchera.
If you're the Old Abe's, you're not going to go for it 4th and long, deep in your own territory here. So
no, you just want to get out of the half where it's at here now, down by 3 scores.
Hudson plenty of time to add to their lead, 5-19, and the full complement of 3 timeouts.
Tracy back to punt. He's had 2 nice punts here tonight. Here's another good one. Oh, dangerous play and caught by Carls. He kind of almost misplayed that, misjudged it like a center fielder would in baseball. He came up about 4 yards, and then he had to go back about the same 4 yards to almost make an over-the-shoulder catch on that one. But he did a good job. He's had a couple bobbles on the last couple times, but kept things in control, and it'll be 1st and 10. Looking for another touchdown. The Raiders looking for more. They're on the road. They'd like to get more against a pretty good opponent here tonight. The Old Abe's, who have had a hard time and are kind of shell-shocked, I think, right now. One player, they were 2 players shy on the offense for the Raiders. They were missing a lineman and a wide receiver who come on late. Helterbrand, pitch out left side, spinning, trying to go up the left sideline, across the 50 to about the 45-yard line. Beautiful play. That's filling in is Sigsworth, Jacob Sigsworth, with a nice run.
We haven't seen a lot of Jacob Sigsworth, but a nice run there. Showed some speed down that left sideline. The blocking in front of him was quite good.
Picked up about 18 yards on that one. Another pitch left side to him. He has
Same
a good
play.
running hole again. Gets across the 40, or I think that's the mark him out of bounds at the 41 or so. But he picked up 8 yards on that one. So filling in nicely for Squires, who has not come back yet from an injury. We're not sure what that is.
That would be a tough break because he's had such an excellent start to this first half.
So Sigsworth gets the handoff again, goes left side, makes a cut, goes down at the 40, and a penalty flag is thrown in. It'll be holding on the Raiders, their 3rd penalty in about the last 4 or 5 offensive plays.
They have been hit on holding penalties quite a few times here this year. And that goes all the way back really to game 1. And those are the kind of penalties that just, shut down a drive. It's all about rhythm. And next thing you know, you're getting backed up. But Brian Harefield is all smiles. He's watching from Mechanicsville, Virginia tonight. His son is number 95, Christian Harefield. He's a senior. Thank you for joining us tonight from Virginia, Brian.
Yeah, that a boy. Way to be out there. 2nd down and long. There's a pass. It's going to be complete to Stubendick, and he has a 1st down at around the 33-yard line. Beautiful pass. Right on the money, and Stubendick.
And a nice catch for Max. He had dropped one earlier, and you could just tell by his body language, but his hands were right on the money that time, and the Raiders got another drive going. Bill Chip, Lenny Tootler, and Ben Smith all enjoying the broadcast tonight, emailing in.
There's a handoff trying to spin around the left side. Whoa, the ball comes flying out of there. It's picked up by the Old Abe's at the 35, the 40. Cutting back to the inside and down at the 50-yard line. The Old Abe's get a big turnover right there. And the fumble, I believe, was by Landon Balerkian. I'm not sure how I'm saying that. Could that be right? I thought I saw number 23 on the carry. But it's a fumble, and going back the other way, are the Old Abes, and boy, did they need that with 3:56 to go in this first half.
Well, yeah, Hudson looking to open up potentially a 4-touchdown lead going into halftime. Now we've dipped just a little bit under 4 minutes to go here in the second quarter, and a key turnover, unfortunately, for the Raiders, and see if the Old Abes can do something with it here.
A lot of time to work with. Back to pass is Kelchera. He hits Brown, and Brown gets it around to the 50 to the 47-yard line. Only picked up about 3 yards or so.
Nice open field solo tackle by Corey Sicka. He's a 5'6", 180-pound junior. We've been calling his name quite a bit from his linebacker spot. Coming up and laying a nice hit on. Yeah, unfortunately on that turnover, because they really had a nice drive going there. But Hudson, at times, has been bit by the turnover bug and the penalty bug, and that's what's a little bit holding them just under that being a top-flight team.
2nd down and 7, double wides, and a player coming in motion. Right toward us is Wilson. There's the handoff, or the quarterback keeping. Calchera with his best run of the game right there, and he's close to first down yardage right around the 40. Might be just a hair shy. They might have to measure. Nope, they're not going to measure. They're just going to say it's about 1.5 feet shy. So pretty good run there. Calchera, he hasn't run too much here tonight. But he's close to first down yardage. It's 3rd and less than a yard.
Always a joy to come over here at Carson Park and call a game, and wonderful press facilities. A lot of history here. Maybe we can talk about that a little bit at halftime, but always a pleasure coming over here.
Handoff Brown. Nothing fancy. Right up the middle. Picks up 4 and a first down. Boy, they run that play over right tackle, over left tackle, over right tackle, over left tackle. They just keep pounding away with Mr. Brown, and he's having a nice night, picking up about 48 yards now on 13 carries.
600-some yards coming in. He's definitely done something right here. And, yeah, you're right.
Hudson's done a nice job defensively, though, not letting him get to an open spot too often, though. He's had to fight for everything tonight. 1st and 10. 2:20 on the clock. Shotgun. Calchera looks left, and he is dumped at the 47-yard line. And you know who got Goodbow coming in there to get him.
And that's the speed and athleticism that's going to make him a relevant player at the Division I level. If he continues to work and develop, and he dedicates himself, and this is what he wants, to become a football player at that level, that's the kind of talent. That play there really exemplified the type of talent that Cole Goodbow is.
That's his 2nd sack of the game. They've had 3 now. And, wow, he gets in there pretty quick, I will say that. No doubt about it. He's a big man, and he's got some speed and wheels. 2nd down and long yardage to go. There's a ball that's dropped, and I think the Raiders got back on it at the 50-yard line. They do.
And that's really the tale of the first half of the night so far for these Eau Claire Memorial Old Abes. You know, between inability to capitalize on the Hudson turnover and penalties, and just, you know, the Hudson offense kicking in high gear, and the Old Abe defense for not really knowing how to respond. Let's see if Hudson can do something with it. They have all three timeouts, 1:29 to go.
Hunter Peacher got the fumble. Hunter Peacher, the linebacker. 5'9", 180-pound senior. Nice play by him to be right there, Johnny, on the spot. They're going to throw it deep up the right side. They got Stubendick right there at the 15 now, and he's down there inside the 15. They're going to mark it right there. Stubendick, fantastic pass and a nice catch.
And I don't know if there was some defensive misunderstanding, but Max Stubendick had excellent separation from his defender, and Helterbrand put it exactly where he needed it to be when it needed to be there. And this passing game of Hudson just gets better and better and better.
4 of 7 passing. Now there's a handoff left side trying to spin around is Brown, and he might have dropped the ball again. They're going to rule it down, though, right at the 10-yard line. Boy, that was close there, too. All of a sudden, the ball is starting to pop out of people's hands here with under a minute to play now. Clock running. Raiders up 21-0, looking for more icing on the cake here.
Oh yeah, this game is by no means over. Hudson's sitting with a significant lead, obviously, but you're on the road and you're playing the number 7 team in Division I right now.
Helterbrand fakes the handoff. He's going to keep it himself right up the middle. He's going to go into the end zone for the touchdown. He just zigged right, zigged left, zigged right again, and there was the end zone. With a flag on the play, it'll be holding on the Raiders.
These holding penalties are going. What little hair Adam Cowles has left is he's going to be pulled out by the end of this game because those holding penalties, time and again, are ruining drives.
So that backs it up to the 15-yard line. And a timeout taken by the Abes. The old Abes stopping the clock with 37 seconds to go. I'm not sure why they wanted a timeout, but just try to make sure that things are in order on the defensive side here. On a second down, they can get a first down if they get to around the 5-yard line or so, but time is of the essence here for the Raider offense.
Another score update from that all-important game up in Puglund Field. Darius Clairvaux, we remember him from last week, strikes pay dirt on a 1-yard touchdown run, and Rice Lake has pulled to within 14-8. Our last score update was 8-0 Menominee, so Menominee must have put up another touchdown, but Rice Lake has matched them and ran a successful 2-point conversion. That's still anybody's game. It's got to be getting close to halftime up there. We'll continue to monitor that one. Of course, that game is on the MSBN Sports Network with our partnership with WJMC. So
being the Minnesota guy that I am, Pug Lund, is it Pug Lund or is it Pug Lund?
Pug Lund, and he was quite a ball player in his day many years ago from Rice Lake. The field's named after him.
Very nice. All right, back to pass. Helterbrand looking now. He's going to try to go, and he's dumped at around the 17-yard line. Not much room there for him. Getting in there was Tyler Nichols.
Down by Nichols and Kern.
And Jack Kern. And a timeout taken, stops the clock with 30 seconds to go, taken, I believe, by the Raiders. It'll be third down and about 12 yards to go. Was that a sack? Yeah. Did he get to the line of scrimmage? No, maybe he did. It was a sack probably, huh?
What's interesting, and we've watched Adam Cowles for 7 years and his staff, but in particularly Coach Cowles, he's the head man. He gets animated at times. He's pretty low-key when you talk to him, but when sees something he doesn't like, you can just read his body language, and he fired off from the sideline with such authority. He definitely had something specific to say to a player or several players, and they listen. They listen, and he make no mistake about it. I think he communicated very effectively what he wants to do here on this next play.
Well, the old Abes, they really need to stop here, down 3 scores already. This is a huge defensive stand here for the Abes. Third and about 12 yards to go. Helterbrand in motion goes Ben Carls. Helterbrand back to pass looking. Now he's going to go on the right side. Look out. Going left now. He's got some time. He's going to throw it back across the field. He's got a man. Touchdown! Right at the goal line. Touchdown, Stubendick.
And that was how Kaiser Helterbrand is developing as a quarterback, scrambling, looking for that open receiver. The receiver's getting separation. Max Stubendick, you come back to the quarterback when he's scrambling. Excellent blocking, freed up the opportunity for Helterbrand to make that throw, showing his arm strength, and the Hudson Raiders are blowing out the old Abes right now.
27-0, 19 seconds on the clock.
Timeout called by Hudson.
Hudson calls a timeout here.
I'll have to ask Mike Sullivan down there, who calls the game for Eau Claire, and one of the legends of broadcasting. I've gotten to know Mike, and there's hardly any finer. And if he had any inkling that Hudson was going to come in here and roll there's still a half of football to go here, but this is a game that Hudson is clearly dominating.
Well, they've made every play. That ball could have easily been dropped, or the pass could have been overthrown or intercepted or whatever, but they're making every play.
Well, and Helterbrand is coming into his own. We knew when he came up as a sophomore, he had such a tremendous freshman year. But that's a big jump from the freshman team, up as a sophomore up to the varsity. And he rotated with Max Stubendick last year. And they started with that quarterback rotation the early part of this year, but they've really settled on him. And Max Stubendick has just blossomed at that receiver position. What a tremendous effort.
High snap, the kick is up, and it is good. Almost blocked there Stubendik's the holder, and Carls kicks it through. So 28-0. Wow, it's a blowout in the first half here with 19 seconds on the clock. The Hudson Raiders, you fans back there in Hudson, having a good time tonight, I would imagine so.
Around the fire, or maybe you're watching at Mallory's or the Cozy Corner or the Village Inn or at home or in Tokyo or Virginia.
Having either a cold beverage or a nice little warm beverage on a nice like tonight.
Either one. Last week was so miserable. I took back home at our wonderful new stadium in Hudson, I took an ice-cold bottle of water out of our cooler.
Yeah.
And within 3 minutes, it was lukewarm. That's how warm it was. It was just ridiculously warm for the third week in September. This is more the weather I like. You're talking mid-60s, low humidity. The leaves are starting to turn. This is my favorite time of year. The baseball's in the pennant drive. We've got a Brewer score update coming in. But it's even better when Hudson is playing like they're playing tonight. You knew this team had potential. You know, they lost a close game against Stevens Point. They got hammered pretty good against Menominee. But they beat a tremendous Rice Lake team last week. And they are having their way with the Old Abes tonight, looking to go possibly 4-1 in the conference.
The kickoff coming. Carls does a squib kick. It's going to be taken at the 30-yard line by an up player, number 43 for the Old Abes, and that being Klinkhammer. Henry Klinkhammer, 5'9", 209-pound senior. Nice job, Henry. Just grab that ball and put your head down and go, and a player coming off slow for Hudson, number 42. That's Cody Sika. That's not going to be good if he's injured, and hopefully he's okay, but he's coming off on his own now. I think he got his bell rung.
Yeah, and Sika's, we've called his name several times tonight.
He's like a brick.
And he's not real big. He's only 5'8".
No, he's just a little brick out there, I'll tell you. Solid as can be. Holy cow. He's on one knee now and getting talked to. Now let's see what the Old Abes do. I don't know if they want to do much here with 13 seconds left, but they're back to pass. They're going to throw it off to the right side, and it's complete at the 48-yard line. And a spinning move to getting it to the 50. Ball or clock still running. They'll call a timeout with 6 seconds left.
Pass complete to Tanner.
Tanner on the catch.
First down.
As they move the chains, want to say hello to Anna Nelson. She says, go number 73. Let's go Raiders. That one coming in from Anna Nelson. I keep those emails coming in. We got a lot of nice emails tonight from here, there, and everywhere. Want to say hello to Stephanie DeVos, athletic director from Hudson. I know she had some trouble with the volume on her computer, I think, earlier, but she says she's got it, and a tremendous supporter of what we've done here through the years. And I've worked with a lot of athletic directors in my 12 years of doing this, and Stephanie DeVos is absolutely one of my favorites. You know, these athletic directors juggle a lot of balls and have a lot of things that they're responsible for. It's a
especially
hard
those
job.
spring and fall schedules and weather things.
It's a lot of things, and she just does a tremendous job.
All right, so we have 3 seconds left here. Let's see if they try to do a Hail Mary of their own here from the 50. Whistle blows.
We're going
to delay a game on the Old Abes. That's their 6th penalty of this first half. Hudson has 4. So 10 hankies have come out so far here tonight.
Yeah, both teams have been bit by the penalty bug. Those holding penalties, I mean, it hasn't happened them tonight. You're up 28-0, obviously, but those holding penalties have been an Achilles heel this season.
Back to pass, looking over the middle. The ball's going to be incomplete off a tipped hand, and that's going to end the first half of play. But
wow,
what a first half for the Raiders. Hudson Raiders all over the Old Abes on homecoming here in Eau Claire. It's 28-0. How about that? I don't think, John, you expected that at all.
I expected Hudson to come in here very focused and to play very well. But, you know, you're going against the number 7 ranked team, an undefeated team in Division I on the road, homecoming, big crowd. That is probably the best first half of football I've seen the Hudson Raiders play this season.
That was just going to be my next question. You've seen a lot of Hudson games, first halves or second halves. This has to rank right up there over the last few years, I would think. I don't know.
Well, it is. I mean, because things are really starting to come together. The offense is starting to gel. The defense is what you want to do is you want to see improvement week to week, and you have some bumps in the road here and there, of course, but this is the time of year you've got 6 games under your belt, and you started practicing back in early August, and it's going to be October here in a couple of days, and you're positioning yourself to be in that conference title chase, to get one of those upper seeds in the playoffs, and Hudson is right where they need to be at this juncture of the season. I want to say hello to Rochelle Remule Kugel. I hope I said that.
You just botched that one. I guarantee you botched that one.
I'm sure I did. Rochelle, she's watching from Shawano, Wisconsin tonight. Rochelle, thank you for tuning in. Keep those emails coming in. And here's the homecoming court of the Eau Claire Memorial Old Days. Homecoming is such a great thing, and we had it in Hudson last week. We had our parade and a wonderful performance by the Radiators and the band at halftime, and a lot of different activities, by featuring a dance on Saturday, among many other things. And, everything was just clicking for Hudson last year, as I seem to have wrapped my microphone cord around the chair. As I'll try to get it out. There we go. So, yeah, it's fall. Fall is here. It's this is the time of year for the apple orchards and the pumpkins. Halloween's a month off, and I got a little guy in school. A lot of the fall activities as he started school, and the school district of Hudson is a tremendous place to. Not only the athletic teams are so good, but passed a very nice referendum, and a lot of in addition to our new football stadium, a lot of significant renovation going on in the high school, middle school, and a lot of great things going on. If you're listening in and you ever get over to the western part of the state, come check out our community. The Hudson has a lot to offer on the banks of the St. Croix River. Now, Joe, you said you live over in St. Paul. You came over to Hudson here, a couple weeks ago?
A couple weeks back. Actually, it was on Labor Day.
Oh, okay.
And we wanted to just go for a drive. We live in St. Paul, and we had been to Hudson about a year and a half ago, just for the heck of it, and checking it out and walking around a little bit, and of course being on the river and everything. It's fantastic, and so it was something we wanted to do again, and it was a great day. It was nice that day. We just walked around downtown, went into some shops. Some were open, some were closed, but understandably so, and had a nice dinner, or lunch, I should say. And just had a great time, and went down by the river for a little bit and walked around there. So, what do they call that? The long pier thing going out there, on the river.
Well, it's called the Dike Road. That one time was a toll road, and now it's a walking path. And Riverfront Park there, and we just really have a lot. And I've been fortunate to have resided in Hudson for some 16 years now, and glad to be a part of it. I want to say hello to Joe, and Joe says very simply, they played well. And you know what? Three words were no truer than that. The Hudson Raiders just had everything going there in that first half. We're going to take a look at the Major League Baseball score. The Brewers holding on by a thread for trying to nab that second wild card spot. Of course, Joe, you're a Twins fan, and they clinched here yesterday.
Yeah.
The Brewers a 1-0 lead at the top of the fourth in St. Louis, but probably equally as important, its scoreboard watching time is Colorado at home against the LA Dodgers, and the Rockies are up 5-0 already against a Dodgers team that's already clinched the top record, the top seed. And you would probably think they're going to pull most of their starters. We don't know that, but the Rockies off to a big lead. So the Brewers are just going to have to win this game at St. Louis to maintain that playoff eligibility. Still 2 back going in with 2 to play, and it's really becoming a much slimmer chance. They blew their chance a couple nights ago, losing a home game to the Reds, and just some dropping of some close games in the month of September, particularly the back-to-back first 2 games of the series against the Chicago Cubs, which was the biggest series of the year. But regardless of what happens, they have had a tremendous, tremendous season. And who would have thunk it? You and I are Twins and Brewers fans. Who would have thunk it back in April? 2 teams that really did nothing last year. Twins lost 103 games. The Brewers lost 89. They were out of the postseason conversation really by the end of July, if not sooner. And both of them, here it is, the Twins have clinched the second wild card.
Yep.
And the Brewers, it's coming down to the last weekend of the season. For baseball fans in Wisconsin and Minnesota, however it ends, it's been a good season, an unexpected good season.
Wouldn't it be cool somehow, some way, if the Brewers and Twins could meet up in the World Series? Huh?
I don't know if that'll.
Huh? I mean, what are the odds, right? But that's what sports is all about.
It is, and we talk so much about the Packer-Viking rivalry, and that's a different type of rivalry because they're in the same division, and they only play 2 times a year, whereas the Twins and the Brewers are in different leagues, different divisions. They do have the interleague play, but speaking of the Packers, of course, they had a nice win last night against the Bears, but the trouble with the Packers right now, and it seems to be a problem in the last 5-6 years, is just the injuries.
Yeah.
Injuries and injuries
Yeah.
and injuries, and they still continue to win. They still continue to be one of the top teams in the NFC. Went to the NFC Championship game last year, and they've won the division 5 out of the last 6 years. But those injuries to key players just keep happening over and over and over again. It's just hard to explain sometimes.
Yeah, and as Viking fans, the wrong people are getting injured. They still got the quarterback. So, that's why the Packers keep winning, is because of pretty much a couple guys.
Well, and that
him and Nelson and Cobb and those guys, if they can be okay, the Packers probably be okay. But, yeah.
And Aaron Rodgers, it just really is the big thing. And, but Montgomery went down, and Devontae Adams, and they had injuries before, and some other significant injuries as well. So, they're going to have to regroup. They're on the road against Dallas. And then the reason I bring this up is you got the Minnesota-Green Bay game coming up here in a couple weeks here. So, and also, too, talking a little college football here is this. We watch this wonderful performance of this Eau Claire Memorial
they're good.
marching band. Very good. One of the great things of doing these high school football games, we have such a great band back home in Hudson. They put on a tremendous performance last week. But these other schools' bands are excellent as well. And so much work, and I was in band.
Oh.
So much work goes into these halftime performances. Everything has to be precision and work together, and you just practice over and over and over again. And you put on hopefully a good performance for a big crowd here tonight.
That's beautiful, and I don't know. They have some of the band members are on the far sideline. I don't know if that's a different band, possibly. Maybe the junior high or something. I'm not sure. But so the whole band isn't out there all the way yet, it looks like. But this must be, I think, the varsity band or something. The other ones will probably be joining in here shortly. 28-0 the score at halftime. The Old Abes hasn't been a very happy homecoming for the Old Abes here tonight against this Hudson team, who's come out and just played a whale of a first half, leading 28-0, and on a beautiful night for football. And it all started off in the first quarter, 8:43 to go on that first. It was Squires on a 6-yard run. Extra point was good. That's their first time with the football. 7-0 the score. They got the ball back again. Next time they had it, first quarter, 3:20 to go. And it was Squires again from 14 yards out. Just kind of scampering around the right side and bowling his way into the end zone right by the pylon on the right-hand side there and knocking that over. Made it 14-0. Carl's pretty good 4 for 4 for extra points in the first half. And then in the second quarter, 8:24 to go in the first half, 35-yard pass to Charlie Pierce, kind of a Hail Mary type deal. Just put up there nicely by Helterbrand, and Pierce came down with it with 4 other guys around him. And he was right there, and the official was right there, made sure he had the ball, and he did. Extra point good again, 21-0, with 19 seconds left. Not quite the Hail Mary pass we had to Charlie Pierce for the touchdown, but it was a beautiful scrambling play by Helterbrand. He went to his right, almost was sacked, got away from that, went to the left again, got away from everybody and threw a beautiful pass to about the goal line, and who was there but Max Stubendick, the 5'10", 160-pound senior, reeled it in and got it just across the line, 28-0 with the extra point. Just a fantastic half. The Raiders passing Helterbrand in this first half. I had him about 5 of 8 passing, and Stubendick I have for 4 catches for about 106 yards and a touchdown. Carl's with a nice 21-yard reception. And Squires with a nice catch for 15 yards, and Pierce with his 35-yarder for the touchdown. So passing game's good. The running game, Squires 55 yards on 10 carries, and then he got injured. I'm not sure what his problem was, but he kind of limped off. It looked like the field never came back. Hopefully he'll be okay and back for the second half. But Brown had a carry for 30 yards early in the contest, and then the Raiders had Jacob Sigsworth, who came in and did a nice job. Sigsworth, 26 yards on 2 carries, so he had a good end of the first half. So good job by Sigsworth to pull his weight with Squires out of the game, and maybe we'll see more of Sigsworth in the second half. But he looks like a nice runner too.
Well, and we want to see if we can get any clarification on the injury situation involving Aaron Squires. Of course, Aaron Squires was not able to play the first 2 weeks of the season on a suspension, but he came back with a vengeance with a huge game against Eau Claire North. In fact, he sat out the second half because Hudson had such a commanding lead, but a great game there. And then he was slowed down a little bit, particularly in the Menominee game and even in the Superior game, but he just came alive last week against Rice Lake, had a breakout game and was going along really good tonight. And I'm not sure exactly what happened in terms of an injury.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll have to see if we see him in the second half. Just want to take a quick look at our audience statistics here and keep those emails coming in. We'd love to hear from you, but we want to welcome in people from all over the state of Wisconsin. One of the nice things about webcasting, and you can see where exactly people are tuning in. We're all over Wisconsin, quite a few places in Minnesota as well. Mississippi, New Jersey, Toronto, Ontario, Tokyo, Japan, California, Florida, Georgia, Iowa, North Dakota, Montana, West Virginia, Washington, among many others. So whether you're joining us on HudsonBroadcast.com or whether you're watching at home back on Channel 15, TV 15, the River Channel, welcome aboard and thank you for joining us for Hudson football on this Friday night. Chase MacArthur emailing in. Says Chase MacArthur here watching the Hudson Raiders. Can you tell the fellow viewers hello and go Raiders? That coming in from Chase MacArthur.
Hey, here's On Memorial. Check this song out. This is great. Their school song. Everybody standing and clapping. All right, look at that. Getting into a formation again. They're having a good time down there.
Yes, they are. Good for them.
They're all doing their own little thing right now. This is playtime playing the band now.
Unfortunately for the Old Abe football team in that locker room, I don't think they're having too good of a time, down 28-0.
That was awesome.
MHS.
That was very well done. What a nice band they have. And boy, there's a lot of kids in that band. I don't know how many, but
oh, tremendous.
Wow.
You know,
that's a big band, and like you said, that is a lot of work.
It's hours and hours of work, and everything is right.
MHS Bands is 330
in 330 members.
Yeah, is that what it is?
Yeah. And 4 jazz ensembles.
Everything is precision. Everything is right in sync.
Without the tremendous support of the Eau Claire School District
wow.
and our band
Fantastic.
Yeah, we've got a full house here tonight. And Hudson brought a decent crowd. It's about an hour and 10 minutes over here to Eau Claire, so a bit of a drive, but not too bad. And those of you who didn't make the trip, hopefully you're listening to our broadcast, watching our broadcast back home.
Some of the numbers for Eau Claire. Calchera, I had him 5 of 7 passing. He was sacked 3 times. And he had Brown, looks like 3 times, I think, for 12 yards. Tanner once for 10. You know, so not a lot of passing going on or of any distance for the Old Abes. And Brown rushing 48 yards on 12 carries. So, you know, kid coming in 600 and some yards. He has 48 at halftime, and they've kind of keyed on him, no doubt about it, and they've shut him down.
Well, yeah, I mean, the linebacker play has been very good. Cole Goodbow, among others, leading the way. Jack Sicka, Cody Sicka. And he was another one that we got to see what his injury situation is going into the second half as well. So, just taking another quick peek at the Major League Baseball scoreboard here, and that all-important game. The Brewers up 2-0 on the Cardinals. It might be too little, too late, as the Rockies are rolling tonight.
So what needs to happen for the Brewers now?
Well, basically, what needs to happen is the Brewers need to sweep.
Win the weekend out.
Win the weekend out, and then the Dodgers need to take 2 out of 3 from Colorado. Colorado looks like they're well on their way to a win tonight. So if this holds, Milwaukee wins, Colorado wins. Basically, the Dodgers are going to have to win 2. Milwaukee's going to have to win 2 to force a tie. It's unlikely. It's possible, but just too many missed opportunities going down to in the month of September. Too many blown leads in the ninth, but overall, it's still been a very good season. You can't complain. Looking forward to Division I college football tomorrow. A big St. John St. Thomas game last week. Played at Target Field. And reset the Division III record, I believe, for a Division III football game. So, that's
37,000 people.
Yeah, that's another hallmark of fall here. And of course, the Badgers have Badgers and Gophers both off last week, and Badgers with the home game against Northwestern, and the Gophers with a home game against Maryland. Maryland really hurting right now. They had a hot start, but they've lost 2 of their quarterbacks, and both Wisconsin and Minnesota are big favorites at home tomorrow, so we'll have to watch that.
Too many points as far as I'm concerned for the Gophers. The Gophers will hopefully win, but it's not going to be. I think the spread is 12. There's no way they'll win by 12, I don't think. Maryland's going to be a better team than that, and the Gophers never make it easy on themselves. I know that much.
No, they don't. But,
But the Badgers, Northwestern's kind of so-so right now, I think. I don't know. I think they missed some people, and Badgers should win that one.
Northwestern can really run the ball, and they got a good running back, and his name escapes me. But even beyond that, I am so impressed by Pat Fitzgerald. I remember Pat Fitzgerald played. He was a linebacker at Northwestern, and he's done a tremendous job there. Of course, Northwestern has always had a disadvantage with the excellent academic standards, but the Northwestern Wildcats, the last, really dating back to the Randy Walker era, and even Gary Barnett before Randy Walker, the last 15 years, scratch that, probably the last 20 years, they have more than held their own. And for years, if you follow the Big Ten back in the 80s, Northwestern, there was years they couldn't buy a win, even when Dennis Green was there, and others before him and after, So they've more than held their own, and through the years, Northwestern has played Wisconsin tough. Wisconsin's beat them more than the other way around, but we'll have to see it. But 2 big games tomorrow as the Big Ten season now in full swing, and then the NFL on Sunday as well. The Vikings have a big game, a division game at home against a Lions team that had a very tough loss on Sunday with
I didn't see that play.
Everybody's
talking about it.
Yeah, they thought they had a potential game-winning touchdown in the last 10 seconds, and the receiver, I believe it was Golden Tate, if I'm not mistaken, the replay showed his knee was down at about the half-yard line.
Okay.
And there was less than 10 seconds to go, so it was a 10-second runoff rule, and they never did get another play. So it was a tough ending. It seems like the Lions have had their share of that through the years with
only the Lions can lose a game like that.
So the Lions are going to be coming out of that one looking to avenge that loss. Minnesota at home, and Minnesota coming off a very nice win the previous week against a good Tampa Bay team.
Yeah, I didn't think we were going to beat Tampa Bay, to be honest. I sell merchandise at Vikings games, so I'll be there tomorrow or on Sunday. But I thought going in, I didn't know what to expect from Case Keenum, or some people call him Casey Kasem.
Oh, yeah.
But,
America's top 40.
Yes. But he came out and, he was on the money. The defense, of course, is pretty good and played well.
Yep.
And I like that quarterback for Tampa Bay. He's going to be a really good one in a couple of years. He just fires the ball. He gets a couple picks a game, but he just goes back there and fires the ball, and he's fun to watch.
Winston.
Winston.
Is it Jameis or Jaminus?
Yeah.
Starts with a J, and he's from Florida State. Yeah, he's definitely got some talent. He had a tremendous college career, and trying to find his way in the NFL. And his best years are ahead of him.
Yeah.
But definitely a lot of potential.
Jameson? Is it Jameson Winston or something? Winston? Jameis Winston, maybe.
I don't know. Anyway, quarterback for Tampa Bay, very, very solid.
Winston. He's just Winston.
Yeah, and he's from Florida State, local guy. So the NFL and college and next to follow next week the baseball playoffs, and I always like the baseball. The pennant race will be wrapping up this weekend, and then
Tuesday, right? Tuesday, the Twins and Yankees.
And the Dodgers, tremendous season. They kind of got cold towards down the stretch, and they were on pace at one time to win. They were on pace at one time to put up 120 wins, and then they went ice cold for a while.
They did, didn't they? They lost how many in a row?
I think it was 13 out of 15 or something like that. But they were so far ahead, it didn't matter. They're still going to end with 100 and some wins, but the potential record-breaking season they thought they were going to have fell by the wayside in early August. On
paper, you're thinking, okay, it's going to be Cleveland and the Dodgers, right, in the World Series. That's kind of what it should be on paper, because those are the teams with the most wins, and maybe it'll end up that way. We don't know. But baseball's a funny sport. Boy, you get a team at the right time or the wrong time. If the Twins could ever win in New York on Tuesday, they could really provide problems for like Cleveland, or they've played Cleveland well this year. And shoot, any teams can do anything once they get the chance, and we'll see what happens. I just want to see if they can win. It'd be nice if they could win that one game on Tuesday in New York. We never win in New York. Let's just win one and see what happens.
Well, and I think. Both of these managers, Paul Molitor from Minnesota and Craig Counsell from Milwaukee, because in early April, talking about the season, it's such a long season. You say, well, this team could do this, and this team could do this, and this is a bubble team. And neither Minnesota or Milwaukee was mentioned by anybody to do anything in April. And anybody says they are, I never heard that.
Yeah.
And both of them ended up, I think they have identical. I think Milwaukee's one game better than Minnesota. So they're very comparable.
Yeah.
Both had coming off losing seasons, and you really got to enjoy that. So, and if you're a Hudson Raider fan again, or if you're an Eau Claire Memorial fan tuning in, we'd love to hear from you. Click on the email us, contact the booth link below the video screen. You can let us know who you are, where you're listening from, who you're cheering for tonight. Thoughts on the broadcast? Thoughts on the season? Thoughts on sports? A good recipe, perhaps? A good chili recipe. It's getting that time. I had a good chili.
Chili sounds good now, doesn't it?
Does, yeah.
I don't know.
Not when it was 95 degrees. It didn't.
No. I'll have to get the old crock pot out pretty soon.
I did.
I make a good. You like the crock pot?
I do.
Yeah, I do too.
Want to say hello to Aiden Jamison. Says go Raiders, and hi to our dad, Coach Jamison from Grant, Aiden, Owen, and Addie. Thank you for.
Were people starting to write in saying you guys got to better quit talking about sports? We don't like any of your takes on sports, so knock it off.
Blake, David, and Gilbert emailing in. Shout out to the fellow sophomores helping out on the sidelines. Skull Raiders with a bunch of exclamation points.
Yes.
And the sophomore team, they're next on bat, and the Hudson Raiders during Coach Adam Cowell's tenure here has developed an environment and an attitude and a mentality of winning. And it starts at the youth level with those games over there in EP Rock Elementary School with the 10-year-olds, and the helmet is so big on their head, and and you build. That's how you build it. You build a system. You get young athletes to buy into your system, the winning mentality, and it just grows and grows and grows. And that's why Hudson has become the program that it has the last 10 years.
Well, it sure looked good in the first half. They're up 28-0, folks. 12 minutes back on the clock. Getting set to kick off will be Luis Nunez. 6'2", 165-pound senior Luis Nunez.
I want to say a quick hello to Aaron, Brandy, Landon, and Kate. The Zulies want to say go Hudson and hi to Grandpa. Grandpa OB watching at home. Thank you for tuning in.
Ben Carls, and Riley back there. It's going to be Riley with the catch at around the 12-yard line, and he goes right up the gut, across the 30 to almost the 35-yard line. Body's flying all over the place, and a nice job by Riley Brown to take that one. And here's that vaunted Hudson offense coming back on the field, and feeling good about themselves, and the defense for the Old Abe's is going to try to pick things up a notch here in the second half and see if they can shut down this offense for the Raiders and get back in this game down by 4 scores.
And I'm not seeing Aaron Squires on the field.
Squires not on there, so here's the handoff, and boy, not much room there. Boom, boom, and boom, and a loss of yardage. Boy, tough running there.
Brought down by Clark.
And Sigsworth.
And Klinkhammer in on the
Well,
tackle.
and that's the fire and intensity that the Old Aves need to have if they entertain any thoughts of coming back and pulling this game out down 28-0, and their big homecoming crowd doesn't quite know what to do right now.
Back to pass. Look out. Rush coming on. Rolling to the right side is Helterbrand. He throws it back across, and it's complete at the 35-yard line. Only picking up a gain of about a yard or so, but Carl's with the catch.
3rd and 8.
Again, we're hoping to get some score updates, particularly that Menominee-Rice Lake game. I want to say a thank you and a shout-out to my mother, who's for many, many years has been sending us text messages for score updates.
How's she doing? I haven't talked to her in a long time.
Doing quality control, and she's one of the great ones behind the scenes, allows us to do all this.
Helterbrand scrambling again. He's a good scrambler, this kid, and look out. He's going to run out of room, though, at the 30. He ran right into Adam Tracy, I should say, 6'3", 233-pound junior. And it's a 4th down, so the Old Abe's defense did what they had to do and start this half off the right way and get the ball back.
Well, there's no 28-point play in any football playbook. What you just have to do is you have to get the whole by the parts, and one of the things you have to do first and foremost is defensively shut down your opponent, because you got a 28-point deficit to cut into already. It can't be any more than that if you have any hope of pulling this out.
Carls gets it away. A penalty flag flies. It's going to land at the 38 and take a nice big bounce there for the Raiders inside the 30 to around the 28-yard line. Let's see what the penalty is going to be here.
At the 28-yard line, flag on the play.
I got to sort it
I
out.
have no idea what this one is going to be. Somebody said running into the kicker. Not on this one. We've had 2 of those, but they're talking to the Old Abe's sideline, so it's going to be on Hudson. And they're going to make him kick it again. It's offsetting.
Running into the kicker on the Abe's.
It is running into the kicker. How do you run into the kicker?
Well, is it offsetting or is?
Well, they said it was offsetting, so they're going to do it again. They're going to just replay the down again. Another punting situation.
Okay.
How do you run into a punter and get a penalty? I don't know. That's a new one for me.
I'm confused most of the time about anything, so I'm.
Well, you're running into the kicker, so the punter gets it and gets it away. Okay, so I guess they can do that. I thought they hit him after he did it by quite a margin, but anyway. Ball goes out of bounds at the 41-yard line. So the Old Abe's have decent position here. Just underway in the second half, and boy, their offense needs to really get things going. Down 28-0.
And we just got an update. No change in the score yet in Rice Lake, and of course the Menominee Mustangs still holding a 14-8 lead.
Close though.
It is. That's anyone's game.
Calchera, the quarterback, in the shot. He hands off to Brown. He goes left, then goes right, and gets to about the 44-yard line. Picks up his usual 3 to 4 yards. We'll give him 3 on that one.
Sam Simonis emails in and says, do you think that the Green Bay Packers will make it to the Super Bowl based on the game last night? Also, go Raiders, go.
I hope not.
Joe, as a Viking fan, hopes not.
I'm gonna be at that Super Bowl, probably selling shirts. I don't want Packer fan there. I'll tell you that right now.
Green Bay would light up Minneapolis. I assure you of that if they can get there. We'll have to see. A lot of injuries, but yes, Aaron Rodgers really won that game for Green Bay last night.
Most of the games are run by Aaron Rodgers. Come on now. There's the back to the quarterback. He's going to try to take it and go. Not much there. Good defense. Calchera on the keeper, and he got back to the line of scrimmage. No gain that time. Calchera, he was met by Cody Sika, who's back in the game. Glad he's back in there. He went out earlier with a little bell ringing, I think.
I'm just looking for Aaron Squires on the sideline there, and I don't know. I'm not seeing him if he's out of uniform or what happened, and we'll have to get an update on that. But that's a tough loss.
That is a loss.
He was having an outstanding start, and hopefully everything's okay over there.
Third down for the Old Abe's, 3rd and about 7. Back to pass, Calchera. Calchera now is going to roll to the right. He's going to try to go one-on-one with Sika, and he's going to lose that battle, I think. I think he's a little shy of the first down by about a yard. And so it's 4th and about a yard. What do you do right at midfield? Holy cow, big decision here. You got to go for it.
No question. You're down 28-0, and it's 4th and short. If you're punting it here in this situation, you're in essence waving a white flag.
Yeah.
You really are. You go for it.
Now the Hudson D's up to the task. I don't think I'd run on Cole Goodbow's side. There's the handoff up the middle, and I don't think they got it.
It's all where forward progress has stopped.
They didn't get it. Sika was in there, and also I believe it was Cade McDonald was in there. Yeah, 73 was in there, Cade.
First down for the Raiders.
And not a good handoff, not a good run at all by Brown, who lost a yard or maybe got back to the line of scrimmage barely, but that was a huge offensive play that they missed out on to keep that drive going down with 4 touchdowns here.
That being Cade McDonald, and yes, he is 6'6", 195, only a sophomore.
All right, handoff, Brown the other way. Around the 50, 45, 40. Knocked down at the 35-yard line. Beautiful tackle, but a nice run.
Brown on the carry, brought down by Wilson.
Riley Brown with a good carry there.
Riley Brown's really showing his speed, and I was very impressed really right from week 1. He had a big kickoff return against Kenosha Indian Trail, and you saw the speed that he has, and they were freeing him up on pitch plays and leveraging his speed for good gains.
He goes in motion this time, then the handoff goes to Sigsworth. Look out, he's got a busting play up the middle, right up the hash. Big run there.
First down, Raiders.
Gain of 19 on that play. Sigsworth says, hey, I'm a big part of this offense too now.
Well, Sigsworth hasn't had a lot of action here, but with Squires out, he's getting it, and that was a good-looking run there.
First down. Quarterback's going to keep it this time. Helterbrand right up the middle. Touchdown. Untouched. 16 yards out. That's about the second or third time that they've gone in almost untouched for a score here tonight to make it 34-0.
I want to remind viewers, this Eau Claire Memorial Old Abe team is ranked number 7 in Division I. They came in 6-0. This is not Eau Claire North. And Hudson is having their way with the Old Abes.
Snap down. Kick is up. Boy, kicks it nicely right through the middle. Carl's good again. Nice to have a good kicker.
Well, Carl's is solid.
It's a rare thing in high school football to have a solid kicker like that. Seems like everywhere I go to do a game, there's a really good kicker lately. I don't know why it is, but 35-0 now the score on a nice run by the quarterback, Helterbrand from, it was like 19 yards out. Wow. And I'm still waiting for text updates coming in. That Menominee still holding that 14-8 lead over Rice Lake. That game in Rice Lake. But the story here at Carson Park, from start to finish, it has been all Hudson. I think this has been their most complete game so far this year. Maybe in a couple years. Yeah, what was their best game last year? Did they knock somebody off like this last year? Late in the year, they went to Chippewa Falls, and Chippewa Falls was the defending conference champion. Okay. They needed to win to clinch playoff eligibility in Chippewa Falls and really played a good game. And then beat Chippewa Falls a couple weeks later in Hudson for in the opening round of the playoffs, in the last game ever played at Newton Field, actually. And, among others, they had a big win against
Heartland Arrowhead early in the year. But,
Yeah.
overall, this has been the most impressed I've been with this Hudson team this season.
Hildebrand with the carry and the touchdown. Carls with the big kick. It's going to be taking it around the 5-yard line. Roberts right up the middle. Good speed. Spins. Gets to the 25. And spun down right after getting some forward progress to about the 26 or 7-yard line. Good run back. He was brought down by number 16. We want to get those special teamers on there. Aaron Lofgren brought him down, a 5'10", 170-pound senior linebacker. Lofgren on the tackle on the kick.
Well, I think Coach Cowles is going to start rotating in some of the second-team players with a comfortable 35-0 lead. In fact, we're going to go to running time.
One more score or what?
In the fourth quarter.
Okay.
Unless something changes.
Is it 35 points
35,
right on the mark?
Yep.
Okay. Calchera keeping himself, getting across the 30 to around the 32-yard line or so. Picked up about 5 yards on that play. We've seen Calchera run a little bit more here now this second half than he did in the first half.
Well, they're trying to find a different option besides Brown because Hudson's clearly been keying on him and has done an outstanding job defensively.
Yeah.
And limiting him. He's really been a non-factor. And they've tried to go to the air a few times and gotten nowhere.
Jake Zasembo on the defensive back here is closest to us here, number 2. There's the pass right side. Nice pass, catch, good. Right at the first down marker. I think they got it. Clark on the reception.
I like the play call there that time for Eau Claire Memorial. You got to get into some kind of rhythm. It was just kind of a hot read, a quick slant pattern out of the slot receiver position, and a good tight spiral. Probably the best play I've seen Eau Claire Memorial run tonight, actually.
About a 6-yard gain, first down, 1st and 10. Around 37. Shotgun for Calchera. Back to pass, looks right. He's got a man open. Hits his man, Kyle Wilson. Not a big gainer, though.
And this Hudson team, even though they have a comfortable lead, is still laying out some big-time hits out there. And defensive coordinator Neil Hatfield really has called an excellent game. And Jack Hatfield, emailing in, says, "Go Raiders and go Dad." I think he's the son of defensive coordinator Coach Neil Hatfield.
McKinley brings the play in for Calchera. Then McKinley will line up wide to the left side. They'll have 2 wide on the left, 1 right. Kind of a pistol on the left side there. Back to pass. Calchera looking. He's got a man open at the 45. It's caught and complete. Dragged down. That's Tanner. Calvin Tanner with the catch.
Nice open field tackle by solo tackle by Jacob Dalton for the Raiders there, but nice catch. And the Old Abes, one of the few times tonight they're driven into Raider territory. They just have been unable to sustain any drives, really.
About a 15-yard pass play there, nicely done. 1st and 10, 44. Well, they really spread things out. That spread offense, but sometimes they'll kind of go into an eye a little bit too. You never know. Here's a blitz. Look out, quarterback in trouble. Down at the 45-yard line. That'll be a sack on the play. Calchera was met in there by Cade McDonald. Big Cade, the sophomore, was in there again. He's had a nice game.
Yeah, we haven't called his name a lot this season, but the sophomore getting some significant playing time on the varsity here against Eau Claire Memorial tonight. He's definitely got the size.
Yeah.
At 6'6" and almost 200 pounds.
Yeah. He might be relishing the chances of people trying to block Goodbow.
Yeah, absolutely.
And not necessarily worrying about him. There's a pass again, right side, complete to the 35-yard line. That's going to be a gain of about 7 or so on the play, and I think that was Tanner, Colvin Tanner again.
And the Eau Claire Memorial passing attack, which has really been dormant thus far, has been completely shut down by Hudson, is working for him. And it's just quick hitters. It's slant patterns, crossing patterns. Everything is within that 7 or 8 yard range. And I like the play call. You got to wonder why they didn't go to that earlier. It just gets you into a rhythm and consistently moves the ball downfield. And they got something going here.
I think I have Calchera 8 for 10 passing. He's on target. They just haven't done it very much or for very long. Calchera will keep it this time himself, and he'll go right side and get 3 yards or so. He needed 1.5 yards for the first down, so Calchera with another keeper.
Another update here from Puglund Field. 3:05 left in the third. It's getting late. Jake Abert to Brandon Johnson, 33-yard touchdown pass. The Menominee Mustangs opening up a bigger, wider lead on Rice Lake, 20-8. The Warriors are going to have to come back at home in the fourth.
1st and 10. Eau Claire Memorial, the Old Abes. Calchera, right side. Ball is caught, I believe, bobbled and caught at the 15-yard line. Beautifully done to Kyle Wilson. That was well done for about 15 yards again.
Well, this is the first time the Old Abes have consistently moved the ball.
It is.
And Hudson, doing some defensive rotation with some of the second-team players as well. They should. But the passing attack has really been precision, and you can see why. With some weapons there, why this team came in 6-0. They can move the ball.
Now they're down, 35-0. They got to open it up, and pretty tough to keep handing it to your good running back. There's a blitz screen pass, incomplete. Tried to get it to Brown, but that was broken up nicely. Number 36, Jonah Becken, was kind of covering the receiver there a little bit and hammered him. Brown went down, so incomplete on that one. 9 for 12 now passing is Calchera. It's 2nd down and 10. Clock running, 50 seconds to go, third quarter.
We have some thank yous to do, and
I smell a hot dog or something.
I do. In the third quarter break from the Hudson Benchwarmers that I want to pass along. Of course, the Benchwarmers, the booster club, and they do a lot of things behind the scenes to make this Hudson football program the best it can be.
Calchera talking to a couple players there, trying to tell Brown where to stand. Then we have a whistle. We're going to have a timeout taken by the Old Abes with 21 seconds to go here in this third quarter.
The Hudson football program would like to thank their 2017 Benchwarmer board members. That's Ron Dalton, Bob Carls, Russ Beelan, Corey Stubendick, Adam Danielson, Bob Reynolds, and Scott Helterbrand. The Hudson Raider Parent Benchwarmers program supports the football program as they pay a portion of the coaches' salaries. They host the annual pigskin picnic. I went to that this year. That was a lot of fun. Host weekly spaghetti dinners for the team. Provides player food for halftime and away games. They purchased the new Raider football tunnel in the stadium back home, which they've used. Got a lot of nice comments on that. They manage the Raider concession stand. They organize senior night. They organize the banquet. They put out the program and just do a lot of promotion. And behind every successful program, there's a lot of people behind the scenes that you don't know and you don't hear about doing a lot of things to put them into position. If you get a chance to join or be part of the Hudson Benchwarmers, go on hudsonfootball.org to learn more about it.
2nd and 10. Quarterback in trouble. He's going to scramble. He's got some room. Left side. He's at the 10. Gets inside the 10 to maybe the 9-yard line. Brought down by Sika. Who else, right? Sika's, he's eyes up that quarterback all the time. Gain of 6 on the play that time for Calchera, who's almost at about 30 yards now rushing for the game. Third quarter's over. 35-0. It was 28-0 at the half. It's only gotten better for the Raiders, scoring in this second half. Up 35-0 and another quarter to go, and we'll see if the Old Abe's offense can kind of get some points on the board here on this nice drive they got going on. And that guy's hot dog smells really good right here.
It's a chili dog, I think.
Is it a chili? Look at that thing.
And I didn't get around to eating lunch today. I was kind of running all over, and it was homecoming over at St. Thomas Academy. We've had a broadcast contract with them for many years and doing some other different things. I had to meet some guys from Mankato. We do a broadcasting arrangement with the Mankato Moondogs baseball team and get some equipment back from them from the season that we ended up having to use today. So It was a
You've
full
been
day.
busy.
It was a very full day, but it's all worth it just to come here, and this is a lot to set. I want to say thank you to our camera guy upstairs, Adam Stilson from the River Channel, and thank you each and every one of you, whether you're watching online on HudsonBroadcast.com or on live on TV, local TV channel 15, the River Channel in Hudson.
I like that, the River Channel.
Oh yeah, a lot of good local programming on there. Check it out.
All right, handoff. Brown gets past first guy. Second guy slows him down, and then the third guy gets him inside the 5 at about the 4-yard line. But that should be enough for a first down. It'll be first and goal to go inside the 5. Good run by Brown. Let's see if they can punch in some score here and see what happens. Calchera, handoff Brown. No.
That went nowhere.
No, that went nowhere, and it was Cade McDonald who just almost, what do they call that when you get the cow, you rope them up, and you kind of hog tie them or whatever they call it? What is
Jared
that?
Allen used to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jared Allen.
That's right.
Who's now retired.
Yes.
I remember
But
Jared
he
Allen.
kind of hog-tied that guy that time and just threw him down.
Well, this Cade McDonald, I haven't not real familiar with him, and I think they just brought him up from the sophomore team. But wow, an outstanding game.
Calchera hands off. That's the big man, Tracy. He doesn't get in yet. He's about at the 1.
Tracy on the carry, stop short of the goal line.
Tracy gets to about 3 yards or so on that play. His 4th carry of the game. He's got 15 yards. So, wow, third down, goal to go inside the 1. Let's see if the Raiders can keep him out of there, make him force a 4th down decision here. And
clearly you'd go for it.
certainly. Quarterback keeper, Calchera. Let's see what he does. Nope. They give it to the fullback. He's in.
And he's in.
I think that was Tracy. I think. Yep, it was Tracy on the score. Fans are happy to see that here as they got the goose egg off the board, and they're on the board now 35-6. Tracy gets the touchdown with 10:20 to go in this contest.
Well, and Cade Schultz of the Menominee Mustangs with a pick 6. And Menominee starting to pull away, unfortunately, for the Raiders, with hopes of a potential 4-way tie for the Big Rivers Conference lead. Are pulling away 27-8, 11:39 left to play up in Pug Lund Field. Looks like the Menominee Mustangs, barring a furious Rice Lake comeback, are going to remain undefeated.
Adam Webb kicks it through. 5'11", 171-pound kicker and wide receiver and third-string quarterback, I think. Got it through there. So, hey, they're on the board. Good to see it. That was a nice drive, right? They came out. They were firing the ball on target.
It really was.
Quarterback played well. They made some nice catches. I don't think they had any penalties, right? That was their first penalty-free drive, I think, of the night.
Well, the first drive they sustained anything, and didn't cough it up or penalties, and they primarily did it with the quick, short passing attack, primarily out of the slot position, but using the ends as well. Slant patterns, crossing patterns, in the 7 to 8 yards, and it worked. It's probably going to be too little, too late, but unfortunately for this Hudson defense, they're not going to get the shutout here that they probably wanted.
Yeah, well, I think we've asked. I think they've done enough so far here tonight on both sides of the ball, really, to try to keep actually a pretty darn good football team off the board this long on their home field on homecoming. Pretty good feat so far, no doubt about it. So here's the kickoff. It's Brown at the 10, up the middle, gets through, 35, almost to the 40. He'll be about 38, 39-yard line. Looks like 39. Good run by Brown. 10:05 and counting now in the second half. So they do keep the clock running. It's 35-7.
I'm surprised because I don't know why that clock should not be running, because the rule is you have to have a 35-point lead, and it starts running time in the fourth quarter. So
Maybe it doesn't stop if it starts running time in the fourth quarter?
No, it has to be a 30. I'm not sure.
All right.
They just want to get out of here, I think. I think I would too.
1st and 10. Handoff, left side, and coming through. We're going to check and see who some of these guys are now. That was Kenny Hardman. Kenny Hardman with the handoff. He's a 5'5", 140-pound senior. Gotta like that guy. That's how big I was in high school right there. I don't even think I was probably 5'5" at the time, but about 140 pounds. That's about right. I don't know why I didn't play football.
Are you still 140?
My left leg's 140.
I know I'm not. Not even close.
So Hardman with it. Nice play, and we have a new quarterback in there. That was the quarterback is Stubendick. Stubendick was in there handing that one off. I don't know who carried that one.
We got an email coming in from Judd. Says Cade McDonald is the son of Brandon McDonald, who also played for Hudson football as a sophomore, and the grandson of Steve McDonald of the McDonald Insurance Agency. They're in Hudson.
I wonder if they're related to Ronald McDonald.
I doubt that.
I don't know. 3rd down and about 5. Looking to the bench now. Max Stubendick getting a chance to be back at the helm at quarterback.
And this is the first time he's been behind center in quite some time.
Oh, my.
David Miller.
A defensive player who lost his helmet, number 58, just about was there for the handoff. And he's coming off the field now to fix his helmet. Let me see who that was. I have to say his name. That was number 58, Josh Miller, a senior. And Josh almost got that handoff. The guy who got the handoff was David Miller, I believe.
And credit David Miller for even holding on to the ball.
Yes.
You're right. If you watch the old black and white films of Chuck Bednarik, who played for the Eagles many, many years ago.
I know the name.
That was a Chuck Bednarik hit right there.
Yes. All right, punting situation. Get it off. Hurry up. Oh, we got it away. Nice job by Carls.
And a flag
Looks like a flag is dropped at the 45. I'm not sure. He threw it right by the bench of the old Abes. Somebody's standing on the field. Coach is going to come over now and say, hey, you guys get off the field. I'm not sure what that's about, but sideline infraction. Somebody was on the white or on the field, or I don't know what it was, but the official was probably running along and almost tripped on somebody and threw the flag because he was mad.
Well, while Menominee is pulling away from Rice Lake, we do have another barn burner game, Superior and River Falls. River Falls has come back and tied. Kind of an odd score there, but 15-15, the Superior Spartans and the River Falls Wildcats. That would be a huge win for River Falls if they were able to pull that off.
Mm-hmm.
Spartans kind of struggled this year after a hot start.
Well, Clare Memorial had a touchdown their last drive. Let's see what they do here. There's another pass, a little slant in again to Kyle Wilson. Calchera still out there, and he's 10 for 13 passing now, and Wilson picks up about 11 yards on that play. Wilson now with 3 catches in the second half for 29 yards. 1st and 10. Some of the second teamers, I think, in there now defensively for the Raiders. 6:44 and counting. The clock continues to run. Calchera, he's going to spin around, look around, get away, and gets the ball away, but throws it out of bounds. Nice play by him to just do that and avoid a sack. Incomplete that time. 10 for 14 passing now on the night.
And Chippewa Falls Cardinals, the other game in the Big Rivers Conference, rolling 35-0 over Eau Claire North. The Cardinals come to Hudson next week to take on the Hudson Raiders. The Cardinals looking to become playoff eligible with the 4th conference win. And Hudson still in the title chase, although they're going to take a big hit tonight. They're clearly going to win this game, but it doesn't look like Rice Lake is going to be able to knock off Menominee. The Menominee Mustangs will still be sitting on top of the conference.
2nd down and 10. Handoff, Brown, nothing. Boy, ever since about 3/4 of the way through the first half, they have been on him every time he got the ball. Not much room there for Brown. It's brought down nicely. by Jonah Becken again. A couple other guys in there. But a loss of a good 3 yards on that one for Brownie.
Just a complete game, both sides of the ball for Hudson, and there was no letdown at all from that big win last week.
I'm a little surprised we haven't seen some of the other reserves here for the Old Abes in the game, but they're just going to hang in there. Mike Sins, there's the pass, kind of a screen pass right side, player open, and almost getting away across the 40. Boy, Kyle Wilson again on the reception. Gain of 15 on the play. He almost broke that, didn't he? That was close.
He did, and again, the Old Abes, which they did very little, if any of this, in the first half, is with these quick, short, passes, bubble screens, slants, crossing patterns, everything in that, 5 to 8 yard range, and they are moving the ball now against Hudson into Hudson territory.
Talking to their coach earlier, he said they do about 70% running plays. Oh, there's a pass. Look out! I think it's incomplete. Yeah, at the 10-yard line. But yeah, he mentioned that. I said, well, what do you like to do offensively? I mean, even run pass, differential, and he said, no, we're probably 70-30 toward the run.
Well, and when you're down 28-0 at halftime,
yeah,
you kind of got to go to the air because you need points and you need them quickly.
The clock stopped with 4 minutes to go. The official having a discussion.
Well, it should have been stopped before because the rule is the mercy rule or the 35-point rule, whatever you want to call it, running time rule. If you have a 35-point lead or more, it's running time in the fourth quarter.
Maybe that's what they're discussing, or else they just stop the clock because he's asking them about something else. But they stopped it for the time being at 4 minutes. Now they're going to wheel it up and get her going again. So I don't know. I don't know if that discussion was about the clock running or not. But 35-7, the score is 28-0 at the half. The Raiders led. It's a fantastic first half for them. Calchera still out there. Shotgun looking over the middle. Throws over the middle. He's got a man open at the 17. Brought down at the 15. He hit number 13. Brewer with the reception.
The Old Abes, after being really shut down completely in that first half, they got a little bit going in the third quarter and now more in the fourth quarter, almost exclusively through the air, are inside the red zone.
Gain of another 15, 16 yards there. 3 minutes and counting. Calchera looks left. He's going to throw it over the middle. It's going to be picked off. Right at the goal line. 10-yard line, 15-20. 25-30, out of bounds at about the 33-yard line. Number 8, I believe, for Hudson.
Alec Colander on the interception.
Yep. Nice job by Alec. Caught it right at the goal line and just took off. 5'11", 160-pound senior. Well done. That was not an easy catch. He had to do it on a full speed. And he snapped that thing out of the air and took off with it. That was well done.
And that was the whipped cream and the cherry on a very tasty Sunday for the Hudson Raiders.
Yes, it was. That was well done. 2:20 now and counting. The clock still running now.
And to the booth to our left, Ron Buckley from the Eau Claire Leader-Telegram. I wonder what he's going to write about this game. We'll have to see.
Is he in the red there?
On the far end.
Oh, on the far end.
I've been covering Eau Claire sports since about 1910.
Huh. There's kind of a handoff there and not much there.
Monzel on the carry.
Monzel with the carry. Let's see, I don't know much about Mr. Monzel.
And Hudson just trying to run the clock out. It's
Adam Monzel.
showing sportsmanship here and playing it pretty close to the vest.
Adam's a senior. Get him the ball again. Let the senior carry the ball again. That's fantastic. They're going to hand it off. Left side, boy, not much there. I don't know why they're going way out in the outside like that, but that was number 21. That was Dimitri. No, wait, that was Alex Miller. Alex Miller with that carry, number 21, 6 foot, 165-pound junior.
Heard from David Miller earlier.
1:05 to go. 35-7, Hudson. They led it 28-0 at the half.
Clock continuing. to run.
Touchdowns by 2 from Squires, who then got injured and hasn't come back since the first half. And then Charlie Pierce with a 35-yard pass reception. There's a, I don't know, big handoff grouping at the 29-yard line. Not much happening there. And then, so that made it 21-0, and then 19 seconds to go in the first half. Stubendick, 15-yard pass reception on the goal line there, 28-0. And in the third, making it 35-0 Helterbrand, 19-yard scramble up the middle. And then only touchdown of the game for the Old Abe's 1-yard run from Tracy with 10:20 to go in the game. So 13 seconds and counting.
And the undefeated season for the Eau Claire Memorial Old Abe's is a fading memory at this point.
It's gone.
Goodbye.
Yeah. They're just going to let it run. That's going to do it.
There it is.
No more plays.
That's the ball game, ladies and gentlemen. Your final score.
But fun was had by all. No doubt about that.
Especially for Hudson.
Hudson especially had a good time. There's a pretty good crowd from Hudson here tonight, isn't there, that made the trek?
Yeah, and a big homecoming crowd here for Eau Claire Memorial coming out in their purple, having a good time out in Carson Park with a parade and various homecoming activities. But this night, from start to finish, was all Hudson.
They really had a fantastic game, no doubt about that. And I gave you the scoring moments ago. 14-0 after the first quarter, 28-0 at the half. And then Hudson scoring 7 in the third, nothing in the fourth. Eau Claire finally getting on the board in the fourth. And once again, the final score, Hudson 35, Eau Claire Memorial, the Old Abe's 7. Their first loss of the season, as John said. Tough way to do it at home on homecoming. You know, don't you normally schedule like a team that you're a little more confident in beating on homecoming than
that's
Hudson's always pretty salty.
That's generally the rule here. But the story is tonight, this was a Hudson team that came in very focused, very driven. This was the biggest game so far this year, going on the road against an undefeated ranked team. Unfortunately, it's not going to come to pass that Rice Lake is going to beat Menominee and create a 4-way tie for first. But nonetheless, you can't take anything away from Hudson. The most complete game they played this year. Very impressive, particularly in that first half, on both sides of the ball. And it's onward and upward. Chippewa Falls coming to Hudson next week, and then you end on the road against Rice Lake, and then it's on to the playoffs. But tonight you savor this one because this was a dominating Hudson Raider victory.